There we go. Well, hey everybody! Welcome to Nature Check's Arda Campaign, the show where you come for the game and stay for the science. First, we do introductions. Hi, I'm Sheryl. I'm the Dungeon Master for this campaign, and my pronouns are she, her. I'm a PhD student studying ecology at the University of Illinois at Chicago, and I just found out, yesterday, that my first author paper is, officially accepted and ready to go off for publication. Woo! I got the professional scientist check mark. When I'm not writing papers and agonizing over the publication process, you can find me on YouTube, where I'm a science communicator and run the YouTube channel The Roving Naturalist. Then we've got Nancy.
I was unprepared. My mic was muted. Hello, everybody. My name is Nancy. I am an entomologist, which means I study bugs. And I play a roguish young character named Kay. And in my real life, I am a tour guide in Ecuador, except for now when I'm doing online entomology workshops. And our pronouns are she, her. And check out my YouTube channel.
Which is also called Cybugs.
Which is also called Cybugs. Very convenient. Just type in Cybugs anywhere. The things pop up. Very convenient.
Okay, then we've got Ryan.
Hello, I'm Ryan. I'm also an entomologist. My day job is being basically a plant doctor, diagnosing plant problems and managing them and managing people in our plans to keep plants healthy at a public conservatory and public garden. In our game, I play Fletcher, who is a human wizard, and both of our pronouns are he, him, his.
Marvelous. Then we've got Cindy.
Hi, I'm Cindy, she, her. I'm a science enthusiast and play an Andorian engineer over on Heroes of Awesome Constellation on the Weirdlings Twitch and YouTube channels. And here I'm playing Nautia, the water method druid.
And then we've got Peter.
Hey, Peter. I do agricultural education for my job, and I have training as an entomologist, and I'm still not good at this whole introduction thing, even though I do it
once a week. Literally
once a week. I think I get worse at it every time. I use the he series of pronouns. I play Cedric.
Yes, you do. And then there's our special guest for the day, Nikki! You can just tell us who you are IRL right now, and we'll get to your character later.
My name is Nikki, and I am the host of Beholder to No One. It's a D&D podcast. On Mondays, we have discussion episodes related to D&D and tabletop RPGs, and then on Thursdays, we switch each week between one-shots of TTRPGs, specifically indie ones, as much as possible, and then a new 5th edition horror-esque D&D actual play that just went live 2 days ago, actually. So
exciting.
I'm really excited for it so far.
And if you want to hear and see, well, not see, if you want to hear more of Nikki and me playing games together, we played a pair of siblings in an indie TTRPG one-shot on her podcast. It was called World of Wilderveer, and we were both, stone people, I guess. It was
Stone
Eidolons?
Eidolons?
Something like
Yes.
that. Anyway, it was fun. We had a great dynamic. I enjoyed it a lot.
It was such a fun game.
It was a good one. So we recommend you check that out as well. If you are watching us live right now, and I see so many friends in the chat. Hello, friends! If you're watching us live right now, thank you so much for being here. As always, if you have questions or comments for the cast, make sure to put them in the chat so we can respond. And of course, be sure to check out the reference section down below for the social media handles for the entire Nature Check cast. Don't forget, if you're not able to watch us live or you want to share us with your friends and family, you can, as always, find the sessions for both of our consistent RPG campaigns in video form on our YouTube channel and in podcast form in all the podcast places. Follows, subscriptions, comments, shares, and reviews really help us all out on all of our platforms, so thank you for doing those as well. Any other thoughts from the cast before we get started?
Thoughtless.
Just how we like it around here.
Always.
Okay.
Always.
Always role-playing Cedric, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Is it even roleplay if it's just him?
And with that brief roast, I guess we'll get started.
I love you, Peter.
I love you too, Nancy.
Aww. Oh, man. Okay. Everything changed when the gods left Lacedes. The world became a complicated place. For almost a century, people fought with one another and struggled to find new ways of being. The loss of the gods also made the continent of Arda newly accessible to the outside races, and humans from Tenebria established New Seychester as an outpost city on Arda's southern shore. In the spring of 972, 4 young people from different lands encountered one another in New Seychester. Though their alliance was first formed out of necessity, curiosity, and coin, they have now come to trust and rely upon one another as they explore a strange new world. Fletcher, a human wizard, collects samples and takes copious notes about everything they encounter in Arda, as he hopes to publish on his discoveries and make a name for himself. Cedric, a dwarven cleric, came to Arda to share the word of Moradin, but in the meantime, he's met a lot of new and diverse people and learned to rely on his friends when the going gets tough. Lucanus, an elven barbarian, seems either to be running from or towards something, but he hasn't let his dark past prevent him from working with and protecting his newfound companions. Kay, a roguish young woman, is new to the violence and adventure of the broader world, but her desire to make a difference and do the right thing to help the people she cares about pushes her forward. And Nautia, a water mephit from the elemental plane of water, was trapped on Arda while partying when the loss happened. Now that the river she relies upon has become poisoned, she's teamed up with this unlikely group of adventurers to save her home. Yesterday was a very busy day. You woke up, battled some ghouls in an otherwise abandoned gnoll camp, and looted some valuables. Then you did some science! But seriously, it was great. Kay and Fletcher worked together to learn more about the polluted river water, and then the whole team came together to support Nautia as she dove into the dangerous water to uncover the source of the pollution. Realizing the trail of the mystery led you in a new direction, you turned north and camped for the night in the grasslands, when Kay had another strange dream. It's now the cloudy morning of Telosum, the 25th day of Bloom Run. Oh, and remember how last time I had Fletcher and Lucanus roll fortitude saves? Fletcher, you rolled a 19, and Lucanus, you rolled a 9. So, Lucanus, you realized during your morning's watch that you don't feel very well. I'm sending you a message with more details now.
All right.
And for the audience, Peter is playing Lucanus today because Joe was not able to join us.
All right.
I love being a wizard tougher than the barbarian.
I think it is super amusing that that's what happened, but also, Fletcher, it's very good for you that you rolled at 19, because as you will soon discover, Lucanus is not having a great time. But I believe what had just happened is that you had all woken up. Some people were doing the breakfast thing, and Kay and Fletcher had just finished a conversation about her strange dreams, and Fletcher, you had loaned her a book or some paper and a writing instrument so that she could write down and keep notes about her dreams to try to figure out what's going on with all of that.
Like science.
Like science. So that's where we are right now.
Well, should we, pack it all in and keep heading north?
Yep, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
That was very obviously your Cedric voice, yeah. We need hand puppets.
I know. I need better character voices.
Voice.
Yeah.
Oh man. I can't mimic Joe. He just sounds like another white dude like me. I can't do a Joe impression.
Brutally honest.
Yeah. Just put a pun in every sentence.
Mm-hmm.
Did Cedric set any traps to try to catch anything?
Oh, you did? Okay. Give me a survival check.
Yes.
I'm guessing that'll probably be a thing every time we camp.
I guess, yeah.
But
I'm fine with that.
That is a 16.
A 16. Okay, so in one of your deadfall or the stonefall traps, you find a small snake.
Ooh.
I would describe it as a garter snake, but Cedric probably doesn't know snakes.
No.
And then...
It's all bones.
It's all bones.
What are we gonna eat?
And, but hey, finding snakes and other reptiles and also amphibians like newts and salamanders under cover boards is a really fun pastime. But you weren't setting them to be cover boards, you were setting them to be traps. So in one of the other traps, you find a ground squirrel of sorts.
Ooh, excellent.
So it's not very large, and if it were still alive, it would definitely bite you because they're jerks. But you did catch one small rodent.
Excellent. I'm going to keep both of those, and while everybody else is having breakfast, I'm going to skin them and put the meat in a small bag for later. Maybe tonight we can have ground squirrel and snake.
You could it could be like snake-wrapped ground squirrel. You could get really cuisine with it.
All right, yeah, I'm very
it's
into
like bacon-wrapped scallops, but not.
Yeah.
Nancy's face.
Or bacon wrapped, whatever.
Yeah.
Nancy, is that you or Kay reacting like that?
Okay.
Oh.
That looks, well, I mean, someone might call it, I don't know, maybe delicious, but you just enjoy that, I guess.
Can I also go out and forage for some other things, especially if there are any berries around?
Yeah, I think seeing Cedric packing that up and talking about having tonight, I'm like, well, let's keep our eyes open as we walk too. Just in case.
Can I have
head out?
Right. Can I have everybody who's not Lucanus make a perception check? I just want to see if you guys notice.
You say everybody but Lucanus? Oh, yes,
yeah,
right.
because
Oh, yes,
he doesn't need to notice himself. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Self-awareness could be a good skill for Lucanus to learn a little more.
Ooh, wow.
Everybody's getting all
I do like
blasted.
my perception bonus, because even with a really bad roll, I still got 14.
Nice.
18.
Wow, yeah.
You're muted, Nancy, if you said something.
22. I was counting on my fingers because I'm bad at math, but
I don't. Do you?
I mean, you can, because Cedric can react if he notices.
I didn't even think about rolling.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to assume that Cedric is not paying attention. He is way too excited about his ground squirrel to be paying any attention to Lucanus.
That is absolutely fair. So, Kay, you noticed it while you were looking at the group and trying to do your thing to get Fletcher to come talk to you. So you noticed it right away. But Fletcher, you noticed it really quickly too, and even Nautia, eventually you noticed that Lucanus, he's awake and functioning, but his shoulders seem slumped, and he just doesn't seem like himself. He looks a little, to say he looks green around the gills is maybe a little too on the nose because of his complexion, but, he looks ill, and his shoulders are slumped, and he just doesn't have the same sort of, physical presence that he normally does.
So Nancy noticed it when we were still camping. Did I notice it later on when we've already started walking and he's trudging or? No,
you notice it while you're in camp. It becomes more apparent once you start walking for sure. But yeah, it's pretty apparent fairly immediately. Not to give too much away, but what happened to him was rather dramatic. You might say I rolled max damage. Oops. Sorry, Lucanus.
And then so I guess when Kay and I come back, we're coming to the group and people are things are wrapping up and Cedric's doing his thing with his game, not paying attention to anything. And I maybe as we're approaching, she saw it before and I only noticed it as we're coming back to the group.
Okay.
And I'm like, Kay, does Lucanus look funny.
Bad?
He's not really doing anything. He's kind of...
Yeah, he seems not great, to be honest. Should we poke him?
Or at the very least... At the very least, we should probably figure out if something's going on, because we kind of have a far walk to do.
Is I just thought, like, remember that time that I was just like, busy in town, and then you guys told me that Lucanus like held himself up in his room for a long time. I thought like maybe this was just kind of normal for him, but this is not what he did. He's like,
no. Well, I don't know what he was doing, but he wasn't like this yesterday or this whole time we've been traveling.
Lucanus is
hiding from like other people in town.
Yes, he was hiding because there was a wanted poster. He was also day drinking. This is not either of those things.
She didn't know. She was busy helping her mom, because some of us have responsibilities and can't just like dick off in the forest all the time.
Says the woman who's been living in the forest for 2 weeks. Lucanus is like staring off into space right now and just like slowly eating his jerky.
I told my mom that I'd be back in a week because she needed me, and you people all kidnapped me, and now I'm out here for like months. I don't even know how long it's been. It's been months.
You left... Kidnapped.
Yeah,
you came along.
Yeah, exactly. You left New Sagester on the 12th day of Bloom Run, and is now the 25th.
Like I said, months.
Still the same month!
Months!
Months and Arda are only 2 days.
Right, yeah.
Millennia! My hair is gray.
This
That's how
depends
long
on your
we've been out
definition
here.
of...
So dramatic. This is very
I'm
accurate.
17, what more do you want from me?
I just said it was very accurate.
So I assume
you
guys are having this conversation like away from Lucanus, right? You're
Yeah,
not
like,
like
as we're-
talking about him like right next to him this whole
No,
time?
it's
Okay.
as we're coming back to the group, kind of pointed out, I don't think Fletcher's not going to really be one to bring it up. He doesn't necessarily have a super close relationship with Lucanus, so
I'll bring it up. I got this.
he's not probably going to do anything.
Kayla kind of, I don't know, like, she's in pretty good spirits, so she's kind of like bop over to him and just kind of like look at him and be like, "Hey, you doing okay?"
Oh, yeah, I'm fine. I just feeling a little worn out today, but I'm fine.
Are you gonna be able to walk it off on our very long walk that we have ahead of us?
Oh yeah, I'll be fine. Yeah, are we ready to go? Wasn't really paying attention. But yeah, I'll lead today.
That is only minorly reassuring.
Yeah,
right.
I'm fine. I'm fine.
So, okay. Okay, just look. Fletcher, he says he's fine.
Let us know if anything changes while we're walking. I mean, we encounter something out here. We rely on you a lot to take care of angry things. So let us know.
Orcs.
Yeah. No, I'm good to go. I'm fine. Just like I said, just feeling a little tired. I'm fine. He looks embarrassed.
Good roleplay, guys.
Then I guess we just finish packing up camp and get going. If he insists he's fine.
Fletcher, should we bring any more science equipment? Should I put some jars in my bag?
Yeah, I think let's take all what we used that was really useful at the river yesterday, that we were able to collect things in that ended up being useful. Whatever we can take for that, because if we find where this is coming from, there may be even more to try to look at. So I'd say maybe at least one thing that was good for digging, and I'll grab a couple more of like the jars that we were using.
Sounds good.
Is there a decent amount of like stuff you can sort of stockpile for snacks and just general edible things around?
You didn't find much or any food in this camp. Or
Found a snake
in the camp where you were. So remember, you
surrounding area.
Yeah. Oh. As far as yeah. Give me a survival check for the foragings of the crunchings and munchings. If anybody gets that reference, those are good books.
12.
Yeah, I mean, you can find some stuff. I think I described the grasslands before. There are ground cherries, and there are some plants that you realize have kind of starchy tuberous roots that you can pull up. So you don't find a ton of stuff, and it's not super great. It's not awesome tasting, but it's stuff to eat.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else? Is there Nautia did some foraging. Sounds like Kay and Fletcher are collecting science supplies. Are you ready to head out?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you thanks, Eric. No. I like everybody's walking pantomime.
Are we ever ready for anything? Not really, but
It's the most non-committal adventuring party.
Lucanus is gonna stand at the edge of camp in the same way that we all were not ready. He's just gonna kind of wait for everybody to be ready, and then when it's clear that everyone is ready, he's just gonna turn and start walking.
Okay, yeah, shoulders slumped, just sort of with his hood up.
He just looks tired.
Walking.
He looks real tired.
Yeah. And it's kind of, like I said, the morning was cloudy, so it's a little gloomy, a little overcast. It's not Kay is in a great mood because she's having a sort of a life experience moment. But, yeah, for the most part, the mood is not super peppy in terms of the weather. So you start traveling. Is anybody doing anything while you walk?
Probably helping, keeping an eye on anything edible that we might pass by. Whether I see game that I think that somebody else with people good with bows and things might be able to do something, or plants that Nautia has already found that I have a search image for those things now. Mm-hmm. Looking for those so we have more to eat, and because if I take up the whole plant, I can try to do sketches and study it and take notes and have a reason to gather a whole bunch of it. So probably just keeping an eye out.
Okay. You don't want to magic missile a deer to death to feed your party? No.
Don't think that would be a good spell slot.
Spells are...
it depends.
Those spells are so expensive at this level.
They are. I can barely do anything still.
Spell slots, starvation... Anyway,
if we're gonna sleep right afterwards, it doesn't matter. I can go out and just blast everything. But...
pew, 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 pew. Okay.
Fletcher, why is the forest on fire?
You actually what?
I was just going to say, I was actually also going to be looking for stuff that looked sort of familiar, and if there's new stuff that I can kind of make an educated guess about, I was going to kind of compare notes with Fletcher and be does this seem okay?
Yeah, I think you and Lucanus had started trying to do some of that last time as well, because again, we had that conversation where oh yeah, you're seeing plants that are definitely in the same family, or maybe even the same genus as plants from the rainforest, because that's how plants work. So, yeah, there are definitely things that have familiar qualities or characteristics, although they're not the exact same species. You can start to make educated guesses about the properties of some of these things, especially, if they've got fruits, you can do the thing where you, put the fruit on the tip of your tongue and see if it makes your tongue tingle to tell whether or not it's bad for you. You can crush leaves to smell for volatile oils and stuff like that. So, yeah, you can do a little bit of observation, and while you might not know the names of these things, you can sort of start to put together a list. Mm-hmm. And it sounds like it's controlled fire. Yes. Maybe Fletcher would do a prairie burn. I don't know. We'll get to prairie burns later. But yeah, Fletcher, you said you were looking around. So can you give me a perception check? Kay, Cedric, what are you doing?
Kay is just like, I don't know, I guess maybe hanging around Nautia and being like, oh my god, that was like so cool what you did, because like, you know, the river water, but then you like dove into it and you like saw what was happening, and she's just like, she's fangirling all over Nadia's bravery.
Oh man, Naughty is being so awkward about it. I also want to just pop up every once in a while to do a look around. But I'm gonna try not to get too high above the horizon, just for safety.
Sure. Yeah. You can also give me a perception check. I'm assuming you might also be using that as a way to like help keep you going in the same direction, because it's really easy to lose which direction you're walking in tall grasses.
You can use the sun.
Yeah.
I don't
cloudy,
have
though.
enough fingers. It's
Oh,
25.
Whoa! 25? Fletcher, what did you get?
I only had an 11.
11. Okay. Cedric, what are you doing while you walk?
So after being asked multiple times to not sing hymns while they're walking, Cedric is walking in the back and singing really quietly to himself. Because he's really excited about his ground squirrel. So he's just singing a happy song. And Lucanus is walking in the front and just kind of trudging along.
Okay, wow, that's quite the picture you paint as you walk through the grasslands. Nautia, again, you are such a good spy satellite for this group, so as you're popping up above the grasses at one point, you see, and it sort of catches your breath, because it's so beautiful, you see this big patch of kind of like pale purple, like soft lilac pastel colored flowers, like a huge field of them in amongst all of the tall grasses, kind of off to your left slightly. And it seems so beautiful, and it's very close by. It's a difference in the landscape. Like most of the grassland, it's interspersed with yellow and white and pink and purple and red and blue. Not blue, but you know what I mean. Flowers, like they're just all sort of wherever. But this is like a very large patch of almost unbroken plants with these pale pastel purple flowers on them.
Then I would definitely return to the group and say there's different flowers over there. They're purple. They look really different. They're not too far.
Where there's flowers, there may be vegetable, food, fruit.
Vegetable.
They could have edible roots. The leaves could be edible, or they could be setting fruit.
I just like that we all use the term vegetable now in such an odd way because of Cedric.
Yeah. Yep.
There might be vegetable. Mm-hmm.
If it's not that far away, I mean, could prove to be a lot of food we could take with us.
I mean, if it's not snake and ground squirrel, I'm up for it.
Cedric is like, I love vegetables.
All right, so what are you doing? You heading in that direction? All right.
Yeah, it's not that far off course. Nadia said it's nearby.
Yeah.
And she can get us back on course.
Mm-hmm.
Lucanus is... So wait, which direction is it?
Just off this way, little.
Oh, okay. All right. Just gonna start heading that direction.
Okay. So yeah, it only takes you maybe 3 to 5 minutes until you are just right up on this giant field of purple flowers. And yeah, it's really beautiful. They're not exceptionally tall, maybe like on the humans, maybe like, somewhere between like belly button and chest height. And they're just very pretty, sort of like delicate. They're not flowers with like, a center and like 4 or 5 petals around. It's not that kind of flower. They're sort of like, they cascade out from their centers and almost like how water cascades out of a fountain at the top and sort of down and around. They're very interesting, sort of delicate both in their color and their structure flowers. But yeah, you have arrived at this giant field.
Cedric pulls out his warhammer and starts looking for vegetables.
Cedric, what are you doing?
Just, in case I see one, I can just whack it.
They grow on the plant. You just pick it.
Oh. Vegetables are like mushrooms? They just, grow? Yeah. I did not realize that. That explains a lot.
Here, so we're just gonna watch Fletcher and Nautia,
So which part is the vegetable?
Well, it depends on what the plant is. Sometimes you can eat the flower, and sometimes you can eat the stem, and sometimes you eat the root. Sometimes just well, I guess if it grows off of it, it's like a nut or a seed or a fruit. But the edible part of the plant bit.
Food should not be that complicated. It's like you eat a rat, you eat the muscles. You eat a mushroom, you eat the whole thing. Yeah, but that's the same for all the different kinds of rats.
Or you can just not eat any of it.
Yeah, that. I'm totally okay with that.
You hear a voice coming from the plants. Cedric, the voice would be about at the same height as you, but for Kay and Fletcher, the voice is coming from below you, somewhere in the plants.
I pull my warhammer back out. See, I told you! Their vegetables are talking!
No, they are not!
Fletcher
It can't be a vegetable!
Fletcher just froze.
We gotta...
Yeah, I was just about to poke one of the flowers, and then we heard that.
Remember that plant that attacked us in the jungle? These could be those same kinds.
I was just about to start chastising Cedric about we don't have time to get into botanical morphology because it'll blow your mind how complicated it is to describe a flower.
I'm not a flower. And then I will step out, and it's you see a little Mousefolk, Murium, and she is wearing a robe and has a really big ears that are huge, too big for her head, and one has a gold hoop in it. And she is stuffing something in a little pouch in front of her, and she goes, I just protect the flowers here, and I don't recommend eating them. Well, I mean, you could, but they're food for something else.
That's good enough for me. I'm not going to eat them.
Thank you. And hello. We didn't mean to intrude on your flowers.
No, more the merrier. You're welcome to visit and smell them. Just watch out for the little pop bugs. Don't step on them.
The what?
What bugs?
I will pick one off my shoulder and hold it out in front of me, and I will let Sheryl describe the pop bugs.
So you see this humanoid, so she's bipedal mouse, pulls a rather large bug, well, large relative to her, off of her shoulder and shows it to you, and it is a beetle with just amazingly colorful, iridescent elytra, so the hard shell covers of the wings on a beetle. So it's almost like an oil slick, except much more vibrant colors, but it's that sort of swirling, shiny, just effect on the elytra. Yeah.
What happens if you step on them?
Don't step on it. Look at how pretty it is.
Well, she said not to step on them.
They go boom, but then they die, which is sad. But I mean, the shells make shinies, and they're pretty. And she shows you buttons on her dress that are made out of the shells.
That is very nice.
But they go boom. Not a big boom, but boom enough
to be problematic. Can Kay scrunch down and put her face next to this bug? She wants a closer look at it.
Yeah. So again, it's I mean, you saw bugs of all sizes in the rainforest. But like
they were not controlled though. This is a very pretty bug controlled on a mouse person. So this seems much safer than anything that came out of the jungle.
No,
okay,
it's totally understandable. But so you did see lots of things in the jungle, and you've seen bugs. Like you're aware of them because like you've been camping here in the grasslands too, right? But this bug, this beetle, is much closer in size to some of the more noticeable bugs in the rainforest. Like, most of the insects that you've encountered in the grasslands here, like some of the grasshoppers and butterflies are kind of big, but most of them are very small. But this beetle is rather large, even compared to you. So yeah, it's very noticeable both because of the coloration and because of its size. And it's just sort of sitting there on this person's palm.
How big did you say it is?
Not like maybe like a child, like a human child's fist sized. So like it's big, but it's not
So, like golf ball almost.
Yeah, or maybe slightly
Shooter
bigger than
marble?
that. Yeah, yeah.
Ping pong ball.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. So as Nancy, as Kay leans in close for a look, Cedric is gonna lean like over her shoulder and like make eye contact and be like, "Hi, I'm Cedric, by the way. I'm sorry for the thing that I said about eating rats."
I didn't hear that part.
Kind of a lot.
Then sorry anyways.
It's the fish person thing all over again.
I'm Tulip.
Cedric.
Hi, I'm Kay.
I'm Fletcher.
I'm Nautia.
And this is I have to come up with a name now.
I thought you had named it. Oh no.
I forgot. This is Frederick.
Frederick, like Cedric. They rhyme.
He's a lot more polite than you are.
Lucanus sighs in the background. Lucanus.
So to remind you of what you see, so the very enthusiastic one waving at you and introducing himself as Cedric is, he's short, maybe like about your height, maybe slightly taller, and he has fur all over his face and it comes down a little bit past his chin, and he has a large hammer in his hand. The one who introduced herself as Kay and who is looking at your beetle right now, is, youngish looking, I suppose, but she stands very tall compared to you when she's standing, and she has sort of bluish purple sparkliness on her cheeks and a little on her shoulders. There we go. Now I should be back. Okay. Sorry about that. My computer is freaking out. The one who introduced himself as Fletcher is also very tall compared to you and also has fur on his face, although it's quite a bit shorter than Cedric's. And he has, he's wearing robes and has a walking stick. Nautia is very small, about your size, and she has wings. She has wings, a person with wings, and kind of large eyes, and she looks like you don't have a lot of experience with fish, but like she looks kind of fishy-ish. And then the one in the back who introduced himself as Lucanus is very tall and is wearing a hood, so you can't see a whole lot of what he looks like.
You are mostly all very big. Also, I like the shinies on your face. Do those come off?
They do not come off. They are very much stuck in my skin. Didn't
Interesting.
stop me from trying to rip them out of my face when I was a child, but it didn't work. So here we are, just kind of sparkle.
They're very pretty.
Oh, thank you. That's so kind. No one's ever told me they were pretty before. Cedric, are they actually pretty?
Well, yeah, I thought they were makeup.
Oh no, they're just stuck there. That's how my skin grows.
Oh yeah, I thought you were putting them on every morning.
For the
Who's got time for that?
For the past 12
Camping.
days.
I just thought you were really vain.
The unreasonable expectations put on women.
Hey! Oh yes, I'm sorry, Veronica. Not the 12 days, the months that they've been out here camping.
Well, this conversation got weird. Can I hold your bug? Will he blow up on me?
Only if you squish him. Don't squish him.
Okay, I'm not gonna squish him.
He's my favorite of all of them, so she'll let him crawl onto your hand.
Kay is like feeling a little bit uncomfortable. She's like, it looks really cool, but like also like weird, crazy jungle memories are coming back. So she's kind of like,
I want
She's
to
like-
look for another one nearby.
Okay, yeah. So you see them. It's not like the patch is littered with them, but there are some of them around. So yeah, they seem to be only on the plants with these purple cascading blossoms on them. But yeah, you see maybe one every few plants.
Yeah, I want to try to pick one up and sort of hold it up so Kay can see me holding it too.
Okay.
I like how OOC really, all of us would be love to holding a giant rainbow colored beetle.
Yep. Yeah. No joke.
Well, seeing as that these beetles are clearly like beloved, Fletcher really wants to get one to sketch and have a sample and all of that, but now is like, first attempt is not going to be trying to like catch a live one and see if there is one that's already dead. So I think I'm going to be scrounging around like below plants or just like around to see if there are ones I can collect, rather than doing harm currently around someone who seems to very much care about these beetles. So I'm probably going to be like searching around.
Okay. So you can do a search check. Tulip, you see the one who introduced himself as Fletcher gets down on his hands and knees in the plants and is starting to like root around on the ground.
What are you doing?
I'm looking for any beetles that may have already been squished. Since I don't want to squish any of your beetles, but if there are some that are already around, I would love to collect a couple of the shinies.
Well, I
He
have
draws
some
them
Oh,
in his
well,
book.
Frederick can sit still and you can draw him, or I can give you a shiny. And I pull, like, out of a pouch on her front side, she pulls out a shiny and hands it to you.
I take a look at it. How well intact is it? Is it just like elytra, or is it?
So you see, very much like the jewelry that Nancy makes, you see one elytra or elytrum. I don't know what the singular is, honestly.
Elytron. Elytron is the
Elytron.
singular.
I'd never had to refer to them in the singular before. They
Yeah, you would
usually
never
come
talk
in
about-
pairs. Yeah.
Yeah, elytron or hemielytron.
Yeah, so it's a single half of that hard shell on the back of the beetle. So it is one of the two wing covers. Yeah.
Oh, this I thank you. I can definitely use this. But I'm also looking for something that is the whole beetle. So I can see its legs and its whole body and how it's put together.
Would I know that if that's possible, based off how they die?
Yeah, you would know that you're not going to find a dead one intact.
They don't. That doesn't exist. They go boom. They explode.
Oh, even if you don't squish them, that always happens.
Yeah, there's like a big circle in the air, like this big, and then all that's left is the shiny bits.
Well, that is more interesting right there on its own. Okay. Well, then I'm going to look around, and now I'm just going to look for live beetles to try to maybe if I can get close to one and one of them's feeding. See like what part of if it's eating, what part of the plant is it eating?
Mm-hmm.
Is it on leaves? Is it on part of the? I'm assuming these flowers are arranged in like some kind of determinate or indeterminate raceme as its inflorescence. Again, that was just my example to say that
Those
plants
were
really
words.
suck. plants really suck. And that was my example of why they suck.
Boy, am I lucky I based this on a real plant so I don't have to make shit up.
No, I love plants. It's just learning their morphology is like, you can learn one word a day, and it's ridiculous. And if there's one sitting still, I might try to do I'll try to do a sketch of it. Since I can't take one along to do it like by hand, I'll try to use my spell that will create a sketch of one. So I can take notes on like what it's doing, collect any of the Elytra leftovers that are left after they pop, and yeah.
Okay.
So I'm going to be trying to do that, I guess, in the flowers.
Yeah, so that was a lot of thoughts/questions. Let me see how many of them I can answer for you. So yes, you do, like I said, for Nautia, like they're around. Again, it's not like there are thousands of them. It's not like a Japanese beetle infestation, but there are a fair number of them around. And again, you observe that they only seem to be on these plants with these cascading purple blooms. And they're mostly eating like the leaves, right? So they're an herbivorous beetle with the, chewing mouth parts and whatever. As far as the plants themselves, each plant might have, there's one main stem that goes into the ground, and it might have a few sort of like secondary stems that branch off from it, and each one of those really only has one of these sort of fountainy blooms on the end of each. So it's not like there are inflorescences of a lot of these fountainy blooms together. It's one fountainy bloom on each secondary stalk. And as you move through them, or if you try picking a leaf, you'll notice that they have an incredibly strong, kind of spicy, kind of floral smell. But yeah, it's a secondary compound oil of some kind in the plant. And it's very strong smelling once you get into this patch and start moving around.
Do the flowers look like anything that I've seen before? Or they look similar to anything in the jungle?
Ooh, that's a great question. Give me I don't know what's in the jungle. This is a prairie. Give me a nature check and we'll see what happens.
So much of this is just making me think of rosemary leaf beetles. That everything is like spicy smelling, they're rainbow colored.
You don't have to know too much, it's just a 10.
It's just a 10. I mean, there are lots of flowers with very unique structures in the rainforest. I guess the closest thing, like, if you're investigating the plants more closely, like, you'll notice originally because they smell so strongly, and then as you're sort of in amongst the plants, like maybe grabbing for a beetle, you notice that the stem is square. Aha! Ryan's eyes just lit up.
Ryan's metagaming. Would Fletcher know that?
Well, I had to take a profession, actually, and before I went to school, when I was still at home, I had a side job as a gardener. That's my side profession. So I do know that it is some kind of like mint.
Yep, mints, square stems, crush their leaves and they smell good. I say this a lot about prairie plants because I've really come to like love the prairie since I've started working here, but like this has got to be one of my all-time favorites. And in fact, once you find out what it is, there's another reason it's one of my favorites that doesn't have to do with working in the prairie.
I just want to say I really like that Ryan is like, plants are the worst, and you're just like, square stem, it's a mint. Ryan's like, they're so hard to ID, there's so many words! Cheryl's like, square.
I mean, if it hadn't been a mint, it would have been a lot harder to...
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. There are exceptions, but when you're trying to describe their like if you're trying to differentiate between species of mints growing by each other and you have to go by flowers, have fun.
Yeah.
Especially the mountain mints. The mountain mints are very hard to tell apart. Yeah, right? There we go. Now everybody is unhappy.
But Picanthamum is just such a pretty genus. I'm putting like several native ones in my yard this fall.
Aw, yay. All right, well, now you have all of those bits of information. Tulia, what do you think of these people and what they're doing? They seem to have all, or at least two of them have, like, very thoroughly stuck their heads in the plants and are investigating the plants and the bugs.
I'm thoroughly keeping an eye on Kay because she has Frederick right now. So I'm just like a little antsy and like ready to dart and like grab him if worst case scenario. But I'm just watching, and then I'm keeping my eye on the other one, like that's just like holding. Trying to remember names. Nautia. So I'm like, I'm like, okay, it's easier to look at you because you're short, but everybody else has to look up, and it's hurting my neck. So I'm just gonna keep it okay. And then as I see Fletcher looking at the plants, I'll say, yeah, the pop bugs like Monarda. That's their favorite food. That's all they'll eat. That's why I decided to stay here and make sure that nobody takes it.
There you go.
Or the pop bugs would go away.
There's your genus name. You're welcome.
Wait, so you protect the flowers for the bugs?
Yeah. If we lose the pop bugs, then we lose all the shinies that we use in all of our things. We wouldn't have clay pots with the shiny bits in it. We wouldn't have buttons. We wouldn't have dyes. There's so many things that we use the shiny bits for.
Oh, okay. That makes complete sense.
So I decided that I would protect it.
So, hey,
And you are doing a magnificent job.
Thank you.
we are actually on a mission. We found the river, like that way, like a day's walk, is poisoned. It's like bad. I don't know. Fletcher knows all the fancy words, but it's like all gross. Have you noticed that? Have you noticed anything weird around here recently? Like, I don't know, what water tasting bad, or like.
No, we get our water from a stream and from the rain. We don't go that far away to get our water. I can show you where we get our water, but it comes from the sky.
It's a good idea. I would not get your water from over there, because I tried some of it and it was bad.
I will keep that in mind. And I will tell the elders.
The part of the river that isn't bad is over there too, but yeah, there's something going into the river and it's very bad.
It's not from us.
That's good.
Maybe Apius knows what's going on.
Is that another member of your village? Someone there?
He's our wise man.
Wise guy.
Wise
I saw
guy.
you were about to say that.
I don't know how to word this. That's what it says on the paper. He's the eldest member of our village. He might know. He's really smart.
Great.
How far of a journey is it to your village?
Great question.
It's not too far away. Like I said, like you're a little atypical because you wander this far, but it's not like it's going to take you days, right? It's going to take you maybe an hour, not even. Yeah.
Not that long. I walk to and from every day.
Oh. I mean, we can use all the information we can get. Because all we know is we're walking north right now.
Sure. I'll take you to the town. Flos Agri. Flos Agri.
Flos Agri, yeah.
Flos Agri. In character, I said it right.
Totally.
By this point, Kay has had a like enough of the bug. She's now gone from intrigued to like, it feels weird and I'm kind of over it right now. She's like tries to hand it back.
Yeah,
He's cute.
I'll kind of reach over and take it, like just sort of put out my other hands, and I'm sort of juggling two beetles and like sort of let both of them back into the flowers, and you notice him being extremely careful, like not to damage anything.
Aw.
Tulip will go Frederick, and then he will. Do they fly?
Yeah.
He'll fly over onto her shoulder.
It's trained.
That's the cutest thing I've ever seen. Fletcher, did you know that beetles, did you know they do that? It knows its name. Do the other ones have names? Do they all know their names?
I only named Frederick. The other others might have names. I just don't know what they are.
I feel like my life is just, what was I doing in my life without a pet beetle? I don't even know.
that is true in real life too.
I was gonna say that the things are blending all of a sudden.
This is every druid character I ever make is just every pet every animal I see I want as a pet.
Druid slowly becoming a ranger.
I mean,
there are many similarities.
Oh yes.
Okay, well, we'd be glad to join you.
Okay.
Do you need any help, wrapping things up here? Are we good to go?
No, they should be fine without me for a day.
Okay.
All right. So you all sort of turn to follow Tulia. And can I have everybody make a perception check for me? You knew I couldn't let you off that easy. That's a sad face, Nancy.
6.
6. Fletcher is in the science. In the weeds, as it were.
9.
9.
26.
Yes, queen.
It's because your eyes are so much bigger than everyone else's. That's why.
I've got ridiculous stacked numbers in 3 things. That's one of them.
I'm very good at these 3 things and nothing else.
So, Cedric got a 16, and Lucanus is looking at his feet.
Yeah, he totally is. Wow. All right. Yeah, so, okay. Cedric, you don't necessarily see it because, again, you're on the ground and it's low. Also, Tulip, what did you get?
14.
14. Okay, yeah, so Tulip and Cedric, you don't see this because you're on the ground and most of the plants are up over your heads by quite a bit, but you hear a rustling kind of a ways off to what would be the northwest, or more left, because you guys were coming at this going north and then veered to the left slightly. So from the northwest in this patch of Marnarda, you hear a rustling and sort of I don't know, it's hard to explain, but a swooshing and a rustling. But Nautia, you do your thing where you're popping up above the plants so that you can start heading in the direction following Tulip. And out of the corner of your eye, you're like, what in the... Because you can see a group of large figures off to the northwest, a ways distant from you, still in this patch of Monarda, these pale purple flowers. And they appeared that some of them might have nets and bags, and they appear to be beating the plants with the nets or otherwise doing something to the plants. And these are very large creatures with black hair and greenish grayish skin.
Are they one I recognize?
You do not.
Okay.
But I guess if you had to make a guess, they look like really big goblins.
Oh, God. So yeah, you guys would see me sort of start to pop up and then just immediately come back down and go, there are big things with nuts and they're hitting the flowers.
They're doing the what now?
Are they have nets. They're hitting the flowers. They've got bags. I think are they catching something? I don't know. They look big and scary.
Sweep
Hey,
netting
green.
without permits.
Yeah. That's a fine.
You go over there and you collect that fine from them, Cedric.
Yeah.
I'll wait.
Lucanus and Cedric, I think, are gonna go over there and check it out.
So
Okay.
is
How far
Tulip.
away are they?
How many of them did I see?
Can we
How
hear
many did I see?
Well, if you take a look at roll 20.
No, damn it.
Oh, damn.
Oh.
There are 6. And they're a ways off
That's
from
not
you.
a great sign.
Yeah, right?
I mean, we're literally fighting real life versions of ourselves.
Look, I even put flowers
Yeah.
on the map.
I'm still seeing the home screen on roll 20.
Oh, rats.
Yeah.
Rats and crackers. I always forget to move the little thingy. There we go. Now you should see it. Look,
Yay.
now I
Oh,
put
they're so
flowers on the
pink.
map. I put pink flowers on the map. But also there are bad guys. Or you presume that they might be bad guys.
Isn't it a matter of perspective?
I mean, yeah.
It's true.
They
Yeah.
don't, they don't think they're bad guys. But
They're hitting
yeah,
flowers.
we've
They're bad
all
guys.
been
Correct,
sweep
yeah.
netting and collecting before, so
Entomologists.
That's
Yeah.
true.
yeah, they're just entomologists.
Yeah.
Bunch of nerds.
Oh.
Let's go beat them up.
Yeah, let's go beat them up.
There are
a lot
6
of
of them.
There are 6 of them.
Oh,
Conveniently enough, there are also 6 of you.
boy. Yeah, this is gonna be so bad.
Okay,
Better than half of us.
So I didn't
Unless
think of this until right before we started, but this will be the second time that Peter is going to pilot Lucanus while you guys fight orcs.
Yeah. Lucanus is
Yeah.
big deal.
Yep.
Sworn enemy.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Has he killed an orc on his own? Have we thought?
You've never fought orcs while he's been.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, you've
No,
always.
Wait,
yeah.
didn't he? Was it Peter? Did you play him? I thought Joe played when they cut
When
the
I,
orc's head off.
Nope, that
No,
was
that
Peter.
was me.
Oh, that was
No,
Peter.
Peter.
I was so into the story, I just assumed it was actually Lucanus.
See?
Hilarious.
Yeah, immersion. We're good at this.
I'm the best actor ever. Y'all heard it here.
Also, can I just point out? Hold on. This has been not bothering me all stream, but you have your insect net, your bug shirt, and your white box behind you, and you are such an entomologist right now. way to play the part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you knew that's what today's plot was.
Mhm. Yeah.
Right?
That's why you guys pay
On
the big
point.
bucks to have me
But
on
that's
here.
an aerial net, isn't it?
It is. It is. My
Mhm.
sweep net's outside.
Yeah. Yep. They are made of different materials for those of you at home who might be curious.
I have a telescoping one that is legit.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Nice. Anyway, that is what you see. You see this this group of large group. No, it's a group of large creatures beating the plants with these canvas nets.
How tall are the plants that we're in? Footage.
Yeah, I would say at this point in the season, a lot of it is kind of in between chest and shoulder height on you, Fletcher. So 5 to not quite 6 feet, depending on where you are and what plants you're looking at. Obviously, some are taller than others, because the Monarda is maybe 4 to 5 feet high, while the grasses might be taller. So
Yeah. When the people when Nautia comes down and says that there's
Mhm.
big things out there, that's when I'm like, okay, squat. And to get Lucanus and do it so we can bend down so we're down under the level of the plants.
mhm.
I'm like, so Tulip, what direction is your village? If we can skirt these things, we could go to the village to find out more versus running into what may not be a great situation.
They're attacking the plants.
But they also look very bad.
Can Lucanus see them from where we are now? Now that his attention has been drawn to them.
Yeah, now that Nadia's pointed it out. I don't know if he can tell exactly what they are from this distance, but they're kind of distinct. Are you gonna Leroy Jenkins this?
I mean, I feel like
I
this
feel
is
like
kind
this
of
is about
Lucanus's thing. I mean, as much
But
as
he's sick.
I know, but it's Lucanus. It's his thing, and I don't want to Leroy Jenkins someone else's character, but also he's
they,
obsessed with killing orcs.
Are they in the middle of the flower patch or towards an edge?
I mean, it's kind of hard to say what's an edge. They are you guys are on an edge-ish, but they're kind of out there in the middle of things. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't.
In fact, they are surrounded by the purple flowers, so they are definitely within the patch.
I don't think in good conscience I can not run in there and try to kill a bunch of orcs. Lucanus! I can't move Lucanus's token, by the way.
Rats! Sorry. God, there's always something.
That may be offensive.
Rats, is that offensive?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
It's insulting me.
I'm so sorry. It's not controlled by Joe today. Today it's controlled by Peter. There we go. Okay.
Yeah.
I promise I know how to use Roll20. Okay.
And I think very specifically is going to go into a rage.
Okay. Please, do you know how to calculate the number of rounds of rage you get based on your Constitution modifier, since it is now different?
Oh no, I didn't think about that. Yeah.
Oh yes, that's why I thought it was so interesting that he's the one that wound up with this problem, because it changes his rage ability. Yep. Here we go. Oh yeah.
Great. Super.
We gotta kill him fast, y'all.
A fit of rage lasts for a number of rounds equal to 3 plus the character's... Oh, wait, sorry. So if you look at the Lucanus rage page... so a fit of rage lasts for a number of rounds equal to 3 plus the rage Constitution modifier.
Okay.
So it will be less than
5?
Normal. Is that how much that... I'm sorry, I don't remember.
I think the current modifier is 2.
Lucanus rage.
It's a 14.
Yep, so it's a 2. Okay, perfect. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So in that case, you get 5 rounds of rage before you have to do it again. You get... He should say somewhere he gets a certain number of rages per day.
Yeah. I'll find that in a minute.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna run towards the nearest orc, but I don't think I can get there. Nope. That's 50 feet.
I mean, you can spend your turn running if you don't want to. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. So I'm just gonna run.
Okay, you're just gonna run.
Yeah.
Do that.
Get to the nearest orc.
Also, if you've never tried running through prairie, it sucks.
Right. He's like slogging, like Morningstar in one hand, great sword in the other hand, like
it's
pushing
like
through.
Those knees up.
It's like trying to run through knee-deep water. Like, no joke. It is exhausting to walk or run through prairie. Like, so bad. Okay, Lucanus. Well, now that you've done that, you get up on this orc, and you see that it does indeed have both weapons and a large canvas net. And some of the others that you can see, because you're close enough to all of them now to see, some of them have nets, and some of them have bags. And now I guess everybody can roll initiative, because now they're very aware that you're there, and vice versa.
Thanks, friend.
Playing the character.
Nah. It's a different thing. I was not prepared. I was just so enthralled with what was happening. I was like, I didn't pull out my character sheet.
I mean, yes, Tulip, you also have a good reason to go running in there, Leroy Jenkins style. I don't think you can get there as fast, though. Oh yeah, no, I guess you can. You have extra speed. Speedy mouse. Alright, anybody with initiative above 20?
I have a 20.
You have a 20. What is your dex?
+1.
+1. Okay, so... okay, anybody 15 to 20?
19?
19. Alright. Anybody else? Nope. 10 to 15?
Me. I got a 14.
14?
Cedric, or sorry, Lucanus got an 11.
Okay, so 14 for Kay. And 11 for Lucanus.
I have a 10.
And you have a 10. Cedric.
4. Sorry, 5. 5.
Okay. Wow, that shook out really interestingly. Okay. Let me write down the colors that we've got here. Okay, so there are 6 of these orcs. Again, all armored and armed, of course, because, they're out in the wild. But yeah, they also have these canvas bags and nets, which seems weird. Although you may not necessarily have a whole lot of experience with orcs, them having nets and bags seems strange. That doesn't seem normal. Okay, so Tulip, you watch this hooded figure that was part of this new group of people you had just met go pounding off through the plants to the north left. Which is a term.
North left.
That's a term we developed in Burn a few games ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, Lucanus goes pounding off to the north left, but it is your turn now, so what would you like to do?
Getting down on all fours, I will dart towards the closest one, which I will just reach, because I can move 50 feet.
Nice.
And I will hit him with my quarterstaff and go, "No, you can't have the flowers."
All right. Roll me an attack then.
12.
12. Okay. That does not hit, unfortunately. So you do, you hit this creature. Again, you've never seen anything quite like this. It looks like a goblin, but bigger and meaner and a lot musclier, and way taller. You hit it with your quarterstaff, but your staff just bounces off of its leather armor.
Big goblins can't have flowers, and hit them.
I love her.
I also love her.
I only get 1 attack, correct?
Because you moved. Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm used to 5th edition rules.
No worries. Okay, so next up, Lucanus and Tulip, you can see this better than anybody else in the group because everyone else is still pretty far away. But there's one orc that is a little different looking than the others. It looks like this one could be in charge, because he has better armor and just like higher quality looking gear. So yeah, it looks like there might be one who's in charge, and he is going next. How far away are you all from him? Okay, that's...
Really quick question.
Yeah.
I have a +1 against medium creatures. Would that be it to my roll or to my attack?
It's your...
Damage? Would it be to the attack roll or to the damage?
It's to the attack. Oh, so that would have been a 13.
Yes.
Ah, then you can roll some damage on him. Yep.
Yay!
If it meets, it hits. Hooray!
Sorry, I just was reading my
No
things,
worries. Thank you for remembering. Yeah.
So I do 6 damage, which is the max damage I can do.
Amazing. So you all see, and Lucanus, you see this coming up behind you. Tulip gets down on all fours and runs fast mouse through the plants, and it seems like she has an easier time because, this is where she lives, right? She does this all the time. She runs up to this orc and to Lucanus, takes out her quarterstaff, yells the thing about big goblins can't have flowers, and smacks him right between the eyes, and he just, falls backwards and lands on the ground.
Yay!
You one-shotted him. That's amazing. I like it when that happens. So good. Okay, so you one-shotted him. Very nice. So now, all of that description about the leader. The leader, seeing that, is going to... No. Okay. Take out a very large, kind of ugly-looking spear. Oh, God. Tulip, what is your armor class?
16.
16. Okay. So the spear comes flying through the plants, and you were just so pleased with yourself for knocking out this creature that was beating on your flowers for some weird reason. And you turn just in time to see, hear, and then feel this spear come flying through the air to hit you for retribution of 6 points of damage. And it sticks into you kind of, like shoulder area. Does not feel great. It's very big compared to you. So there's this spear just like sticking into you now. And then he is going to start backing up a ways. Okay, Nautia, it is your turn.
All right. I'm going to go sort of a little off to the left of where... I'm going to measure that again. A little more off to the left of the other two. Not close enough to actually, like, hit anyone directly, but... Oh, nope, that's not what I wanted. Hello. How do I move? There we go. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm the sort of next one in line, who's the pink one on this screen. I want to hit him with my spell-like ability, Acid Blob, which is like Mouse Acid Arrow. So I need to roll a ranged touch attack.
Okay, touch.
So that'll be plus my base attack bonus, right?
Yeah, so it's touch, so is the attack roll is plus your base attack bonus and plus your dexterity.
And plus dex. Okay. Which is none. So plus. That'll be a 22.
Wow, that hits!
To hit Pinky.
Yeah,
And then I get to do 2d4 of acid damage. If I can find my d4s. I had this super cool idea of just like pulling dice out as I need them, and it's clearly not working. That's 5 points of acid damage.
Wow, yeah. So this blob of greenish acidic goo comes streaking out from Nadia's hand and hits the orc kind of on like the neck area where there isn't as much armor, and it just starts searing in, and this orc goes, "Ah!" Really, obviously very upset and in a lot of pain. Not great. Yeah. All right, Nautia, you moved, you attacked. Now it is Kay's turn.
Whoop whoop. I'm also going to dart up to the
A mighty whoop.
whoop whoop. I'm gonna inch forward a little bit. Yeah. So how do I move myself there?
You have 30 feet, remember?
I think here-ish.
Okay.
And then I'm going to use my short bow and shoot him.
Shoot the same one that Nautia shot?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Whoop whoop. And
just as a reminder, because they have not gone yet in combat, that means that they are denied their dexterity bonus to their AC, or otherwise means that you can get sneak attack damage on them.
how do I do that? How do I do that?
Basically, that means if you hit one, you get to do extra damage.
Okay.
I'm telling you that because you might want to attack one who hasn't been hurt yet, so that you can take full advantage of that extra damage.
Okay. I guess let me measure near. That one's too far away. Near. That one's too far away. I forgot where I was to measure where I moved.
You were like right next to, or no, you were one square to the left of Cedric.
All right. Okay, so I can actually move one jump forward. All right, hold on. All right.
Long range battle.
I'm gonna shoot the green one.
Okay.
Just barely.
All right.
The green one is like directly in front of me, about 60 feet.
Yeah, roll to shoot.
Okay. I forgot how to do this. It's just a D20.
It's a D20 plus the attack bonus for your short bow.
Okay, that's what okay, perfect. I was like, when do I add the 17.
Yep, that hits. Okay,
yes!
so now you're gonna roll your you're gonna roll your short bow damage, and then also I believe as a 3rd level rogue, your sneak attack is still an extra 1d6, I think. I will check.
It says sneak attack plus 2d6.
Oh, maybe it's already 2d6 then. Yeah.
And then I wrote incapacitated under that. I don't know what that means.
I think that was your way of saying. Yep, it is 2d6. So I think incapacitated was your way of saying when they're denied their dexterity bonus. Yeah.
Oh, okay, perfect.
So if you go before the enemy in combat, that is one such situation where they are denied their dexterity bonus to their AC.
Okay, so I roll the 1d6 normally for damage, and then I roll 2 extra d6. Holy
correct.
Roll.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
All right.
Welcome to one of the best things about being a rogue.
All right, a 4, a 3, so 7, plus 4, 11. Did I math right?
What was that?
4 plus 3 plus 4. Is that 11?
Yeah. Wow.
Perfect.
Yep. Kay, you run up and you sort of plant your feet and you feel like you're coming into your own. So you draw back the string and the arrow goes flying through the air and goes into one of the, this is like a sniper shot. Like you're at your max distance, but the arrow just sweet spot right into this orc's eye socket. And again, it just stops and falls over. So you one-shotted another one. Good job, folks.
One-shot party.
One-shot party. Alrighty. That was Kay. Lucanus.
All right, so from Lucanus's perspective, he has ran out ahead of the group, right, and felt like it was him versus these 6 orcs, and then just as he gets to this first one, this stick comes out of nowhere and just crushes its skull, and then he looks over and he sees a bolt fly into the eye of the other one. He looks down and he sees Tulip beside him with her quarterstaff, and he just gives her a quick nod. And then which one did you say is the one that looks like the leader?
That's the one with the orange dot who is very far away from you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. He's going to run at the purple one.
Okay, so one of the other ones with a net here in this group. Yep.
Yeah, one of the ones between him and the leader. Mm-hmm. He is going to make an attack with his Morning Star.
Do that. Rage. It's still a pretty good rage, even if it is a little sick.
Oh my god, so many questions to roll that.
I know, right? It's do you have advantage? Yeah. Do you have whatever?
Yeah, there's just 8 questions before you can actually roll. That's a 20?
A 20, yeah, that'll hit.
And then I guess this is the damage button. 5 damage. That is the lowest amount of damage that I could have done with that.
Okay, yeah, so Lucanus runs up on this one and gives a mighty swing and clocks this orc in the side of the head and rings his bell pretty much, but he's not quite all the way over yet, so he sort of takes it and then rears back and growls at Lucanus, and yeah, you feel like you're not quite as oomphy as normal. It's really weird.
It frustrates Lucanus.
Yeah.
Lucanus is gonna kind of growl at the
it sucks
at the orc.
Okay, so you're there growling in each other's faces. Fletcher, that all happened in a whirlwind, and now you see basically everybody, it's just you and Cedric hanging out here on the edge where you started. Everybody else took off running. And you have seen your friends drop 2 of these orcs pretty immediately and injure 2 of the others quite a bit. You are very far away, but it is your turn.
Yeah, definitely move, run forward. I mean, as far as I'm able to quickly. And the leader is the one that threw that spear, right?
Correct.
And then backed away.
Yep.
So I think I'm reacting to that, seeing the spear being thrown and hitting Tulip, and so I run forward and I'm targeting that one out there, and shoot off 2 magic missiles to fly over there to hit him.
Okay.
And which
That's
is really nice
because that's what the magic missile was for, not a deer.
Yeah, but it's really nice because I get to just roll damage. Mm-hmm. So
that range is bananas.
Yeah, and I didn't even have to move. I could have hit that thing from where I was with a magic missile. Absolutely nuts. Okay. That's 4. 7 damage.
7 damage. Oh god, I hate math so much. Please stand by. Okay. Beep boop beep. Yeah, so you send off your 2 magic missiles, one from each hand, and they go they do that cool like animated thing where they like cross back and forth as they fly through the air, and boop boop, they both like way off in the distance you can see them hit this orc, and he seems to take it, and he's like facing you guys, but he's in the act of backing up as you hit him. Cedric.
Okay, so from Cedric's perspective, he's just like standing in the middle of these flowers that are like at his like the like above eye level, and everybody just like takes off running, and he's just like like follow everyone through these like zigzagging paths that everyone has like kind of trampled through the flowers. He is so he can make it to like right behind Fletcher, basically.
Yeah.
From there, I don't know that he can see anything really.
Give me a perception check. We'll see what you see.
Okay. 13.
I mean, I think you can get the general direction that they're in. Like, you're pretty close now. So yeah, you can see shapes moving even if you can't make out, like, specific details. Yeah.
All right. Well, in that case, I'm gonna keep running in that direction.
Okay.
And use my full action to just run.
Don't forget, if you wanted to, you could move 4 times your run speed if all you wanted to do was run this turn. But if you're like running and stopping, then yeah, I think maybe you only like. Did you want to just like pound through, or did you want to run and then stop and check? Because I feel like that's a little different. Yeah.
I kind of want to like I'm imagining him just kind of like running and pounding through and like looking, and then like skidding to a halt as soon as he gets to Tulip and seeing her with like the spear sticking out of her. And that's my turn.
Sounds good. Okay. So that was Cedric's turn. Now there are 3 orcs. 3 regular orcs left. That didn't get. Yeah, thank you, Peter. I knew that was going to happen.
Sorry.
It was better when we were with gnolls, but here we are. So we'll do purple first because it's right up on Lucanus. So the purple one is gonna take its falchion, big ol' sword, and try to hit Lucanus. That is a 16. I don't remember if that hits his armor class or not. I'm gonna have
to. Does that hit Peter?
Peter's pain.
Oh, sorry, I was
totally okay. I'll look it up. I feel like it might not because he has like a lot of AC now. Oh wait, is this?
You're asking me about Cedric's AC?
Yeah, I said
it's
16.
Yeah, 16 is my AC.
Wait, really?
Yeah. According to my character sheet.
Yours or Lucanus's? Because Lucanus's says 12.
Oh, Cedric's. I thought we were talking about Cedric. You're talking about Lucanus?
I'm talking about Lucanus. The purple one is attacking Lucanus. Sorry.
Gotcha. Sorry.
Oh, God.
Yes, Lucanus's AC is 12.
Yeah, okay. So the falchion hits, and it is gonna do... Boy, that's a lot of damage. It's like they're strong or something. Double 3s for 10 damage with his sword. So that is what the purple one do as retribution for Lucanus smacking it so hard. And then...
that is not fair. I only did 5 to it. It should not be allowed to do 10 to me. That is not fair.
Please report that to our complaints department.
I would like to speak to the manager.
Nowhere.
The orange orc.
The orange orc. Okay. So the pink one is, which I think is the one that Nautia. The pink one is the one that you shot. Is gonna come right up.
Yep.
And yeah, I think it was able to get that far, right? It could get right up on you. Is that right? Yeah, it can. Okay. Yep. Mm-hmm. So it's gonna get right up on you, and swing its falchion at you. Because,
Okay.
you know... Oops. Let's check for confirmation on that natural 20. Sorry. Oops. And you know what's really...
Can I say that I stayed airborne since it was a long distance attack?
I mean, I sort of assume that you're hovering in, like, a person's head range, but...
Yeah, I didn't want to be too high because I didn't want to draw attention to myself, probably.
And you know what's really fun is that falchions crit on an 18 to 20 anyway, but it was a natural... and that's a natural 17, so that is, in fact, a confirmed critical. Oh, boy.
Right.
Gee, should I roll twice, or should I just roll once and double it? Anybody have a strong opinion?
It's up to Cindy.
I have no strong opinions.
No strong opinions. Nikki, do you have a strong opinion?
I'm sitting here doing very bad math in my head, trying to think, well,
Roll
maybe
twice.
if you roll twice, it's less likely to, yeah.
Yeah, Nikki.
I vote roll twice.
See?
Roll twice? Okay, we're rolling twice. So here's 2d4. That's a 3 and a 4, so that's 7. And that's 1 and a 4, so that's 11, 12, plus 4 is 16.
So 2 less damage than what it would have been.
Okay. So what was the total?
16
16.
damage.
16.
With its
Okay,
sword
okay.
swipe. It is
I'm still up, and I'm very mad now.
It is supremely upset that you acid etched it. So yeah, I feel like you're just both
Yeah,
angry at each
well.
other.
Nautia goes into a rage.
And then I feel like the blue one is too far away to do anything useful right now. Let's see, where can he go?
Yes.
Whoop. There we go. Tulia's up close, or Tulip's up close. Zoop. Okay, so the last regular orc standing is gonna run up on Tulip and also use a falchion. Wow, I bet that's not gonna hit. That's a 10. Nope. All right. So it comes up and completely misjudges how short you are and just cuts off the grass right above your ears.
Just like dodges out of the way.
Okay, so that was them. And that leaves Cedric. Or, no, sorry, they were last in the order. So now it's Tulip's turn. Sorry, Tulip. Yeah.
Perfect. I don't have to run anywhere.
I
This is
know.
perfect.
Very convenient.
I know,
I'm
same, right?
I want to use my flurry of blows attack
Okay.
since I don't have to move.
Do that.
I'm also going to use my fist of iron,
Yeah. Do it.
and I'm gonna, I guess, hit him twice with flurry of blows. First attack is a 19.
Hits.
So with Fist of Iron, I deal an extra d4 of damage.
Yeah.
So that is 2d4 plus 2.
Nice. Good punchy mouse.
9 damage.
Oh yeah, you one-shot this guy too. You just
Aw.
like you're so short because like orcs are really tall and you're fairly short. You basically just like sucker punch him in the gut, and again, like it's like who died that way? Houdini, is that right? Died
Yeah.
from a sucker punch. Yeah, you just like hit him just in the right
His
spot.
spleen ruptures.
Yeah, his spleen ruptures. I mean, you don't know that because it's on the inside, but
That's
yeah,
not how you hit. This is how you hit.
So this tiny mouse just punches Cedric, you're close enough to watch this happen as she just sucker punches this guy and he just again falls over into the grass. And she still has this giant spear sticking out of her shoulder.
Yeah. Cedric is very impressed.
Can I move after my attack?
You can. Yep.
Okay. I'm going to run towards the orange guy.
Okay. Do
Oh my
that.
God.
Okay.
Just determined and be like, big goblins, go away. Screaming at the top of her lungs as she's running.
Nice.
And that's my turn. Since I can't do flurry of blows, but
Okay. Love it. So you run right up to him and now it's his turn. So he's gonna look you He's gonna look you dead in the eye and put his hand on the spear shaft and rip it out of you.
I brought it back to him.
Yeah, I know, right? He's gonna rip it out of you, and then he's gonna turn around and stab it, or attempt to stab it right back into you. That is a 16.
Meets my armor class.
Meets your armor class. Okay, there we go. That is 5 more spear damage. So he's gonna do that, and then he's gonna run away from you, and like he's gonna leave the spear stuck in you again, and he's just gonna take off running. Yeah.
Do I get an attack of opportunity?
You do. Yep.
Is that just an attack? Normal attack?
Yep, so you get 1 punch, basically. 1 punch! Sorry, I really love that show.
18.
18 hits.
Actually, it's a 19. That's... Is it my +2 or +3 if it's 1 hit? I think it's +3.
Yeah, if it's just 1, yeah.
So 7 damage.
Okay.
I try to trip him with my quarterstaff as I hit him.
Well, if you try to... Well, that would be...
Well, it's just flavor-wise.
Okay, yeah. I was going to say, that's a whole different move. Okay, yes, but he is booking it away from you. Okay, Nautia, it is your turn. There is an orc in your face.
Yeah, the guy in my face is going to get 2 claws in his face. Let's see how he does. I've got a 17 and a 19. That one. Math. Yeah. Okay. Both hit, so that'll be... that one's 2. They're both 2, so 4 and 4.
Yeah, you destroy him. Just, again, shredded to bits. Shredded to bits. Yeah.
And with him gone, I'm going to use my move to just go further in the direction of where our mousy friend just went.
Okay. Kay.
Yes. All right. I'm going to just kind of move diagonally north-left. And remember what
nature check patented direction.
Yeah. I think it was here. I think that's 30. Yeah. All right. Cool.
What
and
was
then
that sound? It was like an angry cat sound.
Yeah, and then I'm going to shoot the orange one with my bow. He's right at the edge of my range again. Pew pew. Yes. All right. We're gonna take 20, and we're gonna snipe this kid in the face. I got a 20, a dirty 20, but a 20 nonetheless.
That hits.
Excellent. So just 1d6, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. Yep. I got a 3.
Okay, that is a 3. So yeah, this time he's got better armor, and it's far away, but you know you're moving, and there's a lot of stuff going on, and you're just not as sure this time, but you still do hit him, which is good. Lucanus, you also have an orc in your face.
Yeah, so I hit this orc, he hit me back. Time to hit him again.
Okay.
Going like baseball swing with my Morning Star, just like swinging for the fences.
Yes.
That's a 23.
Wow. Yeah. And the damage is 13, I guess.
Oh, does it automatically roll the damage?
Rolling 2d6 plus blah blah blah. Yep. Mm-hmm. Okay. Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. You turn him into paste.
Cool. I spit on his dead body.
Wow.
This
Wow.
is the one thing that I don't have to think about as far as Lucanus
Yep.
hates orcs more than anything else on the entire planet.
Well, we'll see.
As far as I know.
As far as you know. Yep. Okay. Are you doing anything else?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Oh, wait, yeah. I want to run after Orange Guy. Yeah.
I thought so.
That's what I want to
Yeah.
do. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. So my, just double checking, 40 feet. I can get to here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just booking it.
Okay. That was the Canis Fletcher.
Okay. Super annoyed he keeps running away. Like, I can't.
Right?
I can't.
I like throwing different kinds of fights at you. You've fought in confined spaces. You fought a caster. Now you're fighting a long distance fight.
Fighting a coward.
Whoa.
Um,
He would not appreciate that. That's rude.
I don't care
Half
what
of
he
it.
appreciates.
You don't know him.
I know
We
he's
did just-
attacking us,
we
and he's
did
out of range of
actually-
my spells.
Mm.
We attacked them.
Thank you. Yes, they were just out collecting insects.
They were
Lucanus.
stealing flowers.
Yeah.
They were attacking the flowers and the beetles, and then Lucanus attacked them. Literally the only thing I can reach him with is to try my light crossbow and try to fire at him, because that definitely has a lot more range than the rest of my spells. No.
No.
I just gotta do this call out. Qui-Gon Bowers suggested you trip him up using grease, which
I don't have grease prepared today.
I'm pretty sure you're.
That's
What?
Why?
Whoa!
And
I thought you were
And-
contractually obligated to use grease every combat.
and the range of grease is also only 30 feet. He's so far away from me, I cannot hit him. And my crossbow arrow definitely goes very far askew,
Oops.
because I am not used to using a crossbow, like
That's
ever.
true. It does not come out very often. Alrighty.
No.
That sounds good. Cedric.
Okay, so Cedric's point of view, right? Like everybody ran away from him.
Yep.
He chased after,
Yep.
like past Fletcher in the weeds.
Yep.
And then like got up, saw this giant spear sticking through Tulia, reached for it to try and pull it out of her, and like she ran away, like pulling it out of like his grasp, like as he was going for it. And then he looks up, sees Lucanus in combat, and then Lucanus just shakes off through the weeds. So he's like looking around, like can't even hear anything. Yeah,
It's like Jurassic Park when the raptors are in the tall grass,
Yeah!
like taking people down. You can't see anything.
yeah, very much. Yeah, so I think I'm just gonna do another perception check to see if. Oh wait, sorry, that was a move silently check,
Which
but,
you failed.
regardless,
Real bad.
roll really bad. I'm like, hello. Does anyone need any help? Is everyone okay?
Kay, Fletcher, and Nautia, you can sort of hear this happening in the plans off to your right.
North left! Go north left!
All right. I am going to. I think. Nope.
Nope.
I cannot get to Nautia. But I'm gonna move that direction. So do not like these running combats.
Sorry.
With my very short legs.
Just like my character can fly very quickly, but I still feel it so much because I do indeed have those short legs in real life.
I mean, Tulia has short legs, and she managed to go pretty far. She has 4 short legs, though.
Yeah.
She's a monkey monk.
That too. Very speedy.
Yeah. So I guess I'm gonna rejoin Nautia and Fletcher.
Okay.
And kind of take stock of Nadia's wounds. And assume that she's going to fly away before I can do anything to help her.
Okay, so it would be the regular orc's turn, but
Baby did.
they can't come to the phone right now. So instead,
Yes.
It was so much better than what I was going to say. Yes.
so instead, it's Tulip's turn.
Fantastic. I will just walk up this time on 2 legs to him because I don't have to get on all 4s, and use my iron fist of iron again.
Okay,
As a punchy punch.
do that.
I'm assuming a 10 misses.
Yeah, that misses. Sorry.
So I swing with my quarterstaff and miss, and then go, stop stealing the flowers and stand still. That's my turn.
Okay. So he sort of like looks down at you when you say that, and he sort of like snorts. And again, like this thing, you've never seen these before, but it looks like a big goblin, except for a few differences, right? It's got the black hair and that sort of like greenish skin tone, but it's also got these big bottom teeth, like tusks sticking up. And yeah, he just seems really, really mean. And he just snorts down at you and turns around and pieces out. So he is going to take that run action that I've been describing to you folks, where he can run basically like 4 times his land speed in a round. So he just pieces out, and he leaves without taking that spear out of your shoulder this time, right? He just leaves, and you can take another attack of opportunity if you'd like.
Please. 22.
Yeah.
Can I use my fist of iron on my reactions or no?
I don't think so. I'm not
I don't
sure.
Okay, I'll just assume I can't.
Okay.
6 damage.
Okay, yeah, so you whack him again as he turns, but he just pieces out and runs away. And you know what's weird? He runs far enough through the plants that you can't really see him anymore, and the spear is still in you for a moment, and then all of a sudden it's not. You just like look down and it's not there anymore.
She's confused. She's just like looking at where the hole was.
Yeah, so it has disappeared. So you all are very far away. Would you like to continue trying to chase him, or are you kind of content that you destroyed most of them? And I guess, do you want to continue with combat or not?
Peasant!
Did he like vanish and like how far off did he run? Like, did he vanish into something, or
well, I mean,
can I still see him?
Like, I guess if you popped up, you might be able to see him. You don't know if he's going to hide or not. But like I said, he's flat out running, which means he can run. Like I told you guys, you can run 4 times your movement speed per round if you decide that that's all you're doing is running.
And I've seen him run enough to know that his running speed is the same as my fly speed, so I can't
Basically,
catch him.
yeah.
Yeah, then I just want to catch up to Tulip then.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess same question. Like, so yeah, like Lucanus can tell that he can't catch up to this guy.
Yeah,
right?
you all have about the same move speed, so it would be very difficult for you to catch up to him. Yeah.
Right.
Tulip could catch up to him, but she probably shouldn't.
I mean, if you want to go one-on-one with this guy, we can. But
Sounds like a bad idea.
You've already killed 2 of them by yourself, so.
And hurt him enough for him to run away when he's their biggest bad. So
Cadus yells out, "And stay out!"
yes.
Get off my lawn.
Get out my flowers, you peasant!
Okay.
That's great.
Well, if you've decided that you are done with combat and don't want to chase that guy, let us take our halfway break. Thank you so much to everybody who's watching. I see lots and lots of people watching.
Also, shout out to Teal, because she's in my class.
Oh,
She's
okay.
in my workshop.
Nice. I was wondering where some of these people came from, but hello to everyone from Nancy's class. Hi Cassie, I see you lurking. Oh, there, you just popped up in the chat. Thank you for showing yourself. So yeah, thanks to everyone who's hanging out and watching. We're really happy to have Nikki as a guest tonight. And we are going to take approximately a 10-minute bio break to go get some refreshments, pet our
I've had to pee for a half hour. I had to pee before the combat.
Nancy's gonna go pee. So you can do all of those things too in your own respective homes and come back and hang out with us again in 10 minutes, where we'll be talking more to Nikki, and also maybe we can talk about plant-insect interactions and the storyline that she picked for Tulip. So stay tuned for all that. We'll be back soon. Bye. Hi friends, we're back! I hope you enjoyed your bio break. I know we enjoyed ours. I lost my bell! Here it is. Sorry,
Ding, ding.
my desk is a mess. Let's talk about some science. Ah, I love that sound. Okay, so, hey, I went on a special shopping trip to find this thing before we started this game, okay? The bell is important. Sorry for scaring you, Veronica. Hi, we missed you. Yeah, let's talk about some science. So Nikki, I asked you if you had any sort of like science concepts that you thought would be fun for your story to center around or to introduce your character. And what did you pick? You remember what you told me?
I wanted an endangered species that I was protecting as like an exhibit type thing. Not exhibit, that's not the right word.
A nature preserve, I think.
Nature preserve,
yeah.
That's the word.
Yeah, and I decided that part of the reason this creature would be endangered or threatened or just not super common is because it relies on a specific plant for its food source. There are a lot of examples of insects specifically, but also other organisms that have like a super close relationship like this, where like they rely on this organism exclusively for their survival. So I thought we could talk a little bit about that. We can start with insects and plants, and if we feel like branching out, we can, but I'm sure you all have favorite examples of insects that rely on host plants for their survival, and they have these very, very close relationships. Anybody have a good one? They're staring at me silently. I asked the entomologist to talk about bugs and plants, and suddenly they don't want to talk about bugs and plants.
So many options. Yeah.
It's overwhelming. It's overwhelming. You start thinking of everything.
I mean, there's like
the only thing I can think of right now is the opposite.
What's that? What can you think
What
of
is
that's
the
the opposite?
Is it a sandwich?
No, it's not a sandwich. Basically, I was like, what would is there anything that would be really screwed if we got rid of all those? Because I've lived in Southeast Texas for my whole life, and like the only thing that they're really critical to, I think, is like some particular flowering plant in like.
Sorry, if you got rid of what?
Tropics, just like.
If you got rid of what?
Mosquitoes.
Oh, right. Okay.
Mosquitoes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The little demon guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, yeah, it's like we wouldn't ruin any ecological niches if we got rid of all of them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Turns out they are more useful in this area than I thought too. But
yeah.
Anyway, that's not what you asked.
I mean,
worked with the. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, Nancy.
I worked with the carnary blue butterflies.
Yeah.
And they're endangered because they specifically feed on their host plant lupin, or lupine. I always assumed it was lupin, but it's spelled weird. Anyway, whatever. Plants. But yeah, so I worked on that project in the Albany pine bush, so in upstate New York. They, like most people, build a reserve. I think they're like, this is an endangered ecosystem, and they put like a fence around it. But the Albany pine bush, they built the city first and then was like, oops. So then the Albany pine bush reserve has been like buying back city blocks at a time, like ripping up the concrete and like dumping the plants back in. And the big problem they have is like with aspen and a lot of suppressed fire control. So prescribed burn actually comes in. And so what happens is that if it's too shaded and the soil chemistry changes because of aspen and stuff, then you don't get to grow the lupin, which is what the carnary blue butterfly needs. But apparently in ancient 1700s records, there used to be carnary blue butterflies that would just be everywhere. Like you couldn't go 2 feet without hundreds of them, and now they're endangered and they're really rare because that ecosystem has been completely changed. And the most ironic part is that in the mall they have like a little sign about the importance of the common blue butterfly, but the mall is built on top of that endangered ecosystem. It's like,
that's a good one.
so there's one.
Yeah, I think the Carner Blue is one that maybe, I don't know, I hope a lot of people have heard about it. Yeah.
I've got a big one from Maryland. So as a person who's employed by the University of Maryland, I feel like I have to, and lived in Maryland for many years, and still technically do.
Peter, blink twice if they're forcing you to say this.
Okay, no, I'm going all in on this. Maryland is one of the few states that has a cool state insect. Most state insects are garbage. Your state insect is garbage. All of you, if you even have one, because there are like 8 states that still don't have one.
Like a lightning bug?
Only one of them are the European honeybee. So
oh yeah, a lot of them are the honeybee.
Leave it there.
I thought a lot of them were lightning bugs too, or fireflies.
No,
or whatever
like 2 of them are lightning bugs, and but they're either
honeybees and monarch butterfly.
Monarch butterfly, Asian ladybugs. Also not native, but Maryland. This is what I'm talking about. Maryland. Quit distracting me. So, Maryland state insect is the Baltimore checker spot, which is a butterfly whose wings are like orange and black and white, like speckled kind of, and the pattern looks like the Maryland state flag, which is the heraldic flag of George Calvert, who was the first Lord of Baltimore, who was. Anyways, so the wings look like, the state flag. It's an endangered species that occurs only in the mid-Atlantic, and it's endangered because its host plant is only the white turtlehead, which is a marsh flower that they live on. The larvae live on, and the adults feed on. And the problem with the white turtlehead is that deer really, really, really like eating the white turtlehead. So with the deer population being completely out of control, and also marsh, a habitat being pretty destroyed everywhere, it's been really hard to on the Baltimore checker spot, and reestablishing them is so hard because you have to exclude deer from wherever you're trying to establish these turtle heads. So yeah. Our token one.
So those were both great examples, and a lot of the examples that I can think of are also like butterflies and a host plant. But are there some examples of insects that are not lepidopterans or not butterflies and moths that have like a singular host plant attachment like this?
Oh yeah, sure.
There's a spider that lives in pitcher plants.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That's
it like
cool.
it's like specifically lives in pitcher plants and has adaptations to be able to like live on it, and like goes down, like pulls stuff that has fallen out into the goo and then eats it.
I love it.
It's like developed to be resistant to whatever the thing is in the bottom of the pitcher plant that normally kills bugs, right?
It basically never goes down there to grab it. Basically, it has like, if I remember it correctly, I think it just kind of like goes down, like dips its toes, and it's just like yoink.
Oh, I love it.
I don't know of any that are endangered, but you have a lot of the super close relationships in the gall forming insects that usually have like a species of plant that species of insect lays an egg in for the larva to mess with the plant's physiology and form a gall around itself to grow up and become a new adult. And they're also so understudied. There's like so many gall wasps out there and so many things that we probably don't even know about plants that we've lost and their associated gall formers that were lost along with them. Oof. And so like, and like outside of plants, the same thing applies to all the like parasitic things, like the white rhinoceros or, going extinct, and its botfly is going extinct along with it because the larvae have to develop in the rhino. So I don't know of like a gall species I can cite for that, but it makes a lot of sense that like they have to have that plant, and as that disappears, you lose all the insects that associate with that plant.
Those were great points. I, just thinking about the parasites, I have found a lot of papers talking about the loss of megafauna, or large animals like rhinos or bison, and how that affects dung beetles, because that's part of what I was doing for my research. But also the point about galls. Yeah, here in North America, now is a great time to be looking for galls on goldenrod. If you've never done that before, go out and look for... Gold and oak, yeah. But I like doing it on goldenrod, so you can like break off the stem and you take a knife and cut the gall sideways, and you can find the larvae inside. I think that's cool. I like doing that.
Those are cool flies. The adult flies of the goldenrod gall flies. They're cool. They've got kind of like black and clear, kind of speckly wings.
Nice.
Kind of a bigger than a housefly, kind of cool looking bug. You can rear them out yourself. Like you collect a couple of those galls after the goldenrod has died off in the fall, and then like bring them inside, put them in a mason jar, and like they'll hatch out.
I was
gonna say that's the gall that I have in my plant health problems tattoo. That's on my side. I have a goldenrod with a gall in it.
Nice.
That's awesome. I can think of two more examples. There are the orchids that trick, like the orchid wasps, because they mimic the sex pheromones. And then there's also like a weird beetle that can eat eucalyptus leaves, and farts hydrogen cyanide. No relation. They synthesize the hydrogen cyanide themselves and the oil that go along with it, but eat eucalyptus specifically. It's called the eucalyptus tortoise beetle.
Yeah, that's fun.
I feel like all tortoise beetles have really close host associations. Like there are like thistle tortoise beetles that have been introduced for biocontrol. There's morning glory tortoise beetles that only feed on morning glory. Like there's like a palm tortoise beetle that occurs in Florida that's really beautiful. Like it's kind of like a metallic blue. That only feeds on palm.
The saw palmetto tortoise beetle.
That's it.
So they did this really cool study, and the tortoise beetle not only just dome shaped to help prevent predators from picking it up, but it releases a type of oil from in between its feet and has these really specialized hairs and the beetle actually just sticks to the leaf. And the experiment that was done, they can actually hold up to 3 grams for like a couple seconds.
Whoa!
And like this beetle's tiny. Yeah. The book is over.
But the tortoise beetle is like the size of the head of a pin, or like they're not very big.
It's a little bit bigger.
Okay.
No, I don't know,
like a dime.
No, they're not. The tortoise beetles, they're like pencil erasers.
Really tiny.
Yeah, they're like
pencil
eraser size.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see if I can find it. Oops, sorry, Puka.
Oh no.
That was the I accidentally hurt my dog sound. Yeah.
Yes, I like squeeched over, and apparently, because that was my book, and I squat his head apparently between my hips. Are you okay?
Is that Eisner's book?
Oh, look at those eyes.
It is. Yes, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. Do you love me?
Yes, I love you.
I'm sorry. You don't have to sit and sleep on my lap. Anyway, continue to talk amongst yourselves while I try and find
Nikki,
this.
while you've got all of these scientists at your beck and call, do you have questions for them about bugs and plants?
Wait, I found it.
Oh.
Thank goodness.
Oh, it's so cute. Look at that. Aww.
Yeah, so this is the underside of him, and then these are their like little specialized feet and all of these little hairs.
It kind of makes me think of a gecko foot. It's got that kind of same...
Yeah.
I was thinking of gecko,
and they've actually studied tortoise beetle feet specifically to make grippy surfaces, much like gecko feet. Anyway, here's more pictures of its like little feet hairs.
Oh.
So the oil, it's like comes down, is secreted by glands in the foot, and then it has all these hairs to disperse the oil, like this.
Nice.
Such a science lesson.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah, and then here's ants that are trying to pull the beetle up and can't. So the beetle's that little blue thing. And then I think there's a picture of the experiment where they like No, not in this book. In the other book, there's a picture of the experiment where they like connected it to.
We're gonna start a story time with Nancy stream on Nature Check.
Oh, here it is.
I feel like this is just Nancy's class. Like we're just getting a teaser of Nancy's class that she's teaching.
Basically, like this is what I do anyway. So then, so this is the contraption that they did to like put weights and then hold it onto the beetle to see how much the beetle could resist. And it was up to 3 grams.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And oh, here's a better picture of like beetle with like a little gram.
Oh.
weight. And they
Like a
Oh my
pulley.
God.
That's so cute.
It's adorable.
yeah. And so they found that, and by they I mean Thomas Eisner and crew found it. Also, tortoise beetles, while we're on the subject of things, also make shields with their poop called fecal shields, which is very interesting. Anyway, I highly recommend this book. It is not sponsored. This is for Love of Insects by Thomas Eisner.
I'm stuck on fecal shields, but okay.
Hey, use the materials you have available.
Exactly. Waste not, want
Sure,
not.
that. Mm-hmm. Yep.
So Teal's in the class. She can tell you how that is like literally how all of my lives go. People just ask me a question. I'm like, oh, well, in this book, let me just show you all the things.
Should we put them on blast? Just like pop quiz for Teal? Like
No.
Poor Teal.
But yeah, did you have any questions for the scientist, Nikki?
Not really. I never really had an interest in bugs, but I understand the reason for the interest. Like I get why somebody would be interested in. The only bugs that I really see other than like spiders here, because I don't go outside very often, are love bugs, which are a nuisance, and I hate them so much. And I'm pretty sure their only reason for existence is to get my car dirty. But I guess you could prove me wrong, maybe? Is there a better reason for love bugs or no?
No, that's specifically their evolutionary niche is your car.
Sorry.
Darwin actually wrote about that. He was like, all right, in like 100 years, there's going to be this lady and she's going to have a car.
Sorry, I'm not familiar with love bug. Does it go by another name?
Oh, bibionids. They're a type of fly.
Oh.
They're small, and they're almost always found mating together. That's why they're called love bugs, is they I don't actually know much about their lifespan. I'm sure someone else knows more about it, and I just started blabbing because my brain was
all I know is that they constantly are two connected at once, and they are all over the place. And if I remember correctly, I thought it was to kill mosquitoes, but I'm not 100% on that.
No, I think they're decomposers. They're really decomposers.
Yeah. Because I know they definitely swarm at a certain time of year. Like there's a season where at least the ones in Texas you just can't drive anywhere without the front of your car just getting totally covered in them. And apparently they are just acidic enough to mess up the paint on your car. But I don't remember what their ecological niche was.
They're known as the honeymoon fly or double-headed bug as well, according to Wiki.
That's fun.
Larvae feed on leaf and needle litter, decaying organic matter. One genus is Xylophagus and bores into decaying wood of deciduous trees. Adults feed on nectar or pollen, so they're pollinators.
Okay.
And food for bigger things,
That
probably.
too. Yep.
They also feed on honeydew and plant liquids associated with damage from insect feeding. So, ooze feeders probably.
That's ooze. That's fun.
Or flux, I guess. It's flux, yeah.
And I'm pretty sure I remember that once they're done mating, the females just because they fly around together for like a long time, like while they're mating, and then once they're done, the females apparently just drop the males. And that's it. That was the one fun fact I remember from college.
I don't remember much more about them, to be honest.
I thought you were going to say I don't remember much from college.
I mean, that is your story.
The fun facts about love bugs that I learned in college.
So
there was a big entomology department at my school. I just didn't do much with them.
So I was going to say most of these are not endangered that I can think of, but a lot of insects that accumulate poisonous toxins from the plants that they eat, have very close associations with specific kinds of plants because those are the plants that produce the toxic chemicals that they eat. Like the oleander aphids that are like the bright yellow aphids that occur on milkweed species that are so nasty. You know, if you try to grow milkweed for the monarchs, like all of a sudden this time of year, your milkweed is like black with aphid poop. Like they accumulate toxic chemicals from the milkweed the same way that the monarch butterflies do, which, like, obviously monarchs are the thing that none of us mentioned really about, like, they have a very close host association too, you know, with milkweed species. And
monarchs are passe.
Yeah. Colorado potato beetle, super bad pest of agricultural crops, has a really close association with solanaceous crops and feeds almost exclusively on things in the genus Solanum.
So potatoes, tomatoes, nightshade, etc.
Eggplant,
right. I always forget eggplant, which I shouldn't, because that was your thing. Yeah.
My whole thesis!
I'm so sorry.
There's another cool example with... there's the bellamoth, which will get alkaloids as larvae, and also a bunch of other moths and butterflies as well. Like the one from Ecuador that I can remember is the clear wing butterfly will take alkaloids from the nectar of a really small aster flower, and then that smell gets mixed in with the pheromones that the males use for mating. So the females will not mate with the males that don't have those alkaloids because she passes them down to her eggs. And that's a really, really common story. Like in my class, I did a whole chapter on nuptial gifts that include chemicals, like dangerous poisonous chemicals like this, so that the way the female can pass it down to her eggs.
That's cool.
But there's like... the story about the bellamoth is just like super crazy and a little bit complicated, but the short of it is like male larvae tend to eat and like fight more over the plants that have more alkaloids. So you can find females that have alkaloids, but usually it's the males, and then because like their larvae are doing a lot of the work. And the males, when they like come over as an adult and want to mate with the female, they'll exert like a pair of brushes, which I can also find in the book. But anyway, they exert like a pair of brushes that are laced with those alkaloids, so that way the female knows that he has them, and then she'll present herself for mating with those brushes out. And even if the female doesn't have any alkaloids, she can take the alkaloids from the male, pass them down to her eggs, but she is also protected within 5 minutes from the alkaloids that the males have. Wow. And she will specifically pick males that have more alkaloids, but they also mate a lot. So she will pick males that have a lot of alkaloids and like use those alkaloids, but then she'll also pick other males that are bigger and just can provide more, like a bigger sperm packet and a bigger nutrient packet, and then pick the sperm and the alkaloid content that she wants. And the second mating actually boosts her egg production by up to like 15%. It's like really crazy.
Insect reproduction just blows my mind. Yeah.
Right. But yeah, the Bella moth is basically toxic to everything, and nothing eats them. There's all these interesting photos that Thomas Eisner took specifically of the Bella moth. All right, yeah. So here are those brushes that pop out, and the male like brushes.
Just to clarify, they pop out of his back end. They do.
Yeah. They definitely pop out of the back end, and he like lovingly like caresses her. Like there's a certain spot on her body that he has to like touch those brushes to. And then she'll be like, yes, you have alkaloids, I'm going to mate with you. Or like, no, you don't have alkaloids and I'm not going to mate with you. And
butt brush caresses. That's what I learned tonight.
Delicious.
If anyway, this is how they taught school, I would have paid more attention.
This is how I teach school. You can take my next workshop.
Oh, wow.
I know so much about it because I just taught this workshop. This was literally a whole chapter. It was nuptial gifts. Like there's whole other groups anyway that there's beetles that produce cantharidin, and there's other beetles that are male that like fight over cantharidin to bring it back to the females, and the females will like lock their jaws into this like slit in the front of their to taste the cantharidin and then accept mating or not accept mating. It's this whole crazy thing. Y'all should have taken my class.
Oh gosh. Wow. Well, in that case, thanks everyone for talking about bugs and plants.
Sorry. I got so excited.
I know you did. Bugs and plants and bugs and plants and bugs and plants.
It's awesome. I love it.
No, that was great.
You know, and Sheryl was like, what do you guys know about this? And it was like, literally, it was like... Like, what do I want to talk about? Oh my god.
I didn't realize I was putting you on the spot so bad. So that was a fun science interlude. I liked it. But yeah, now we'll zoom back into the group of you standing in this Monarda patch, huffing and puffing. Some of you are a little bloodied, because you just fought some things that some of you know what they are and some of you don't.
Yeah. Cedric is gonna call out, like, is everyone okay?
One ran away. Should I go after it?
No.
I don't think we could catch up.
Is it heading towards the village, or is it running in the opposite direction?
It's running west and your village is to the east.
Oh, okay, cool.
Lucanus's shoulders are gonna like slump as he sees it, as he just like watches it get further and further away.
I don't think we can catch that anymore. He's gone.
I mean, I could have, but I guess it's okay. He's not running towards the village.
That's good.
I've never seen a goblin that big. Why was he so big?
Well, they were actually different from goblins. They were a different type of people called orcs.
Oh.
They're bigger and meaner.
Well, yeah,
He
Nautia,
looked mean.
you've never seen them before either.
I thought maybe not. Okay.
Nope. Yeah.
He did look
They're
mean.
big goblins.
They can be.
In his, the spear disappeared. It went poof.
Oh yeah, you had that was in you.
Twice. She'll point to both holes.
Do you we have a cleric if you want some help, if you want to be like taken care of a little bit.
Yeah, Cedric is like making his way through the plants.
Sure, I have granola, but that works. I can save my granola for later.
Yeah. So I'm gonna cast.
Let him earn his keep since he didn't do anything.
Oh.
Who's hurt? Who's hurt? I'm here. Don't worry, I'm here. I'm gonna cast Cure Light Wounds on both of you guys. That's a 9 for Nautia and a 8 for. Is it Tulia or Tulip? I have written it down in bad handwriting.
Yes.
Both.
I think
Tulia is her official name, but Tulip is her nickname that she goes by.
Okay.
And do you want to describe to Tulip how the healing feels?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Not like healing.
So Cedric is like, this is gonna hurt, which you have not experienced before, and as he lays his like hands against your spear wound, like it feels like someone is cauterizing the wound with hot metal. Like that you feel this like jolt of pain like run through your spear wound, and you smell like burnt hair. But as he pulls his hands away, like the wound is still closed, and like it's not like the hair is actually burned, but it smells like it should be.
I don't like that. I think I'll stick with granola next time.
Fair enough. It's the trials that we pass through that make us into the dwarves that we will be tomorrow. Or I'm sorry, I didn't mouse people. I don't know what your
Murium.
Yeah, that.
I think I said it right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She's going to go, thank you, and then like walk to the orc that she killed, and like try to rummage to look for shiny things on him.
Okay.
Or food.
Yeah. Give me a search check.
I also wanted to search the one that I
Do that.
Yeah.
knocked in the face.
Search
I was so
checks
proud
all
of myself.
around. That was great.
I feel like so Lucanus is always like burst on the search check, but I feel like this time specifically he like walks over to the group, sits down, and is like, don't forget to search all of them.
12.
Okay.
I'm not great at the searching.
That's okay.
I'm good at the perceptioning.
And the punching.
That was a big 7.
Very good.
Was that a 7 from
26?
Nautia? 26 from the rogue.
Oh my god.
Cedric got a 19.
All right.
Super searching.
So between all of you, you see, I mean, obviously everybody can tell that all of these orcs had a falchion and a javelin and studded leather armor. Like, that's obvious because they were carrying it. Kay and Cedric and Tulip, you are able to also find that each one of these 5 orcs also had a potion of cure light wounds on their person. Which
You say all 4 of them did?
all 5 of them did.
Or all 5 of them did?
Yeah.
Oh.
They did not get a chance to use them.
Wow.
It keeps happening. And Cedric, you and Kay both noticed this. Kay, I think you noticed it first and pointed out to everyone. But they all seem to have some place on their gear, whether it's on like a backpack or their armor or something. They all have an eye painted somewhere on their stuff. So like the oval, the circle. They all have an eye. And also
Wait, I'm not clear what an eye looks like, Sheryl. Can you describe it to me a little bit more?
You're fired again.
Sorry.
There, it could have been compound eyes.
Yeah.
Important that you clarified.
There's no eyelashes. Suddenly I have this like image of orcs putting on mascara. It's really delightful. And Kay, you also notice that the bags that they had, there are these pop bugs inside them. In the bags. Live pop bugs in the bags.
Tulip, I don't think they were getting the plants. I think they were getting your bugs. She just like hands a bag over. Are they all gonna like explode? I think they're still alive.
Tulip will quickly grab it, but carefully, quickly, but
yeah.
And she'll open it and let them out. She's like, no, it's okay. Get out. Go.
All right, yeah. So you are able to free all of the pop bugs.
I don't like orcs. They're mean.
I don't like them either. One almost like nearly murdered me, and then I almost gave up adventuring forever, and then I sucked at everything for a long time. They suck.
Lucanus just kind of silently nods.
Lucanus, you all right over there?
Yeah, I just feel like real beat. That fight took a lot out of me.
I mean, you got hit in the face once. You normally get hit in the face like 100 times. Sure, you're not right.
Yeah, just like, oh man, I don't know. I think I'd like tweaked a muscle in my back
Cedric,
or something.
can you like go see if he's okay? I don't believe him.
Oh,
you're the healer. Go figure out what's wrong with him.
Sure. Yeah.
That was amazing.
I'm now going to make Peter roleplay with himself.
Now you know what it feels like.
How you feeling, buddy? Not so great. Just from having your bell rung a little bit with that pop, or just like a general kind of malaise, or
He's been kind of weird all day. He didn't even want to search anything. Come on, Cedric.
Yeah, I guess I've just been feeling real tired. Cedric's gonna guess. I'm gonna cast Lesser Restoration on Lucanus.
What does that do?
It dispels any magical effects, reducing one of the subject's ability scores, or cures 1d4 points of temporary ability damage to one of the subject's ability scores. It also eliminates any fatigue suffered by the character, and improves an exhausted condition to fatigued. It does not restore permanent ability drain.
Okay, so you are able to get rid of the fatigue after he finished his rage, and you also are able to heal 1d4 points of damage to one of those 2 ability scores that lost points.
Cool.
So you can pick which ability and roll.
I'm gonna go with Constitution.
Okay.
Um,
And you get 2 con back. Okay.
cool. I feel slightly less bad.
Slightly
I
less
mean,
bad.
Yeah, that definitely helped a lot. Thanks, Cedric. Anytime, bud. I feel like Cedric's the kind of guy that would call people bud.
Was there anything that would look like mundane but shiny on them? Like anything at all?
They didn't really have any shinies beyond, like, the metal of their weapons and stuff, yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, so that's what you... Oh, and the eye thing, did you... yeah, Kay and Cedric, you both noticed that. Did you want to do anything with the eye iconography?
Is it something I recognize? I mean, I don't have a lot of orc experience, but is it a religious icon I recognize or anything like that?
You can try a religion check and see. Ah.
I feel like I am very bad at those, so.
Fletcher, you know everything about everything. Do you know anything about these eye things? Come on. I'm sure you do. You do science and stuff.
Yeah, if they pointed it out to me, I wasn't really searching orcs, assuming there'd be nothing on orcs I would really care about.
Mm-hmm.
But if they pointed it out to me, yeah, I'll see if I know anything.
Okay.
What would I roll?
You can do knowledge. Oh gosh, you could pick any of your knowledges. I don't know if you put different amounts in them, but like knowledge, religion, or the planes, or yeah, there's a bunch that would, or history. Like a lot of those would be because you took every single knowledge, didn't you?
Every single knowledge.
Yeah. No, yeah, wizards get. It just says knowledge, all taken individually. So you get all of the knowledge.
You can put ranks in any and all of them. Yeah, so you can.
Yeah,
history, the planes.
Smart.
Religion, any of those would work. It's because he did the studying thing and went to the school.
Oh, I'll do the planes because I have +5 in that.
Mm.
Cedric got an 11 for the record.
Okay, and 15? 11 and a 15?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, it definitely feels religious to the two of you. Like, it definitely feels religious or like a god's icon. Fletcher, you can think of a few gods that might have an eye as their symbol, but you can't, like, specifically pin your guess down, super solidly. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, whatever this eye is, it seems religious in some way. It could mean a few different things, but it for some reason they have this marking on a whole bunch of their stuff.
Should we take notes on it? Should we write it down? I don't know. Might come up again. Maybe don't you just write things down? Or
I mean, I am taking notes IRL, but then I usually when we make camp, that's when Fletcher usually writes stuff from the day. So it definitely will be written for sure, and a sketch of the eye and stuff.
Kay is now very interested in the scientific process. Write everything down.
Well, if we can't, that guy is now long gone, and he went. It seems like we're not going to run into him again.
Ever.
Yeah,
definitely.
Definitely not.
No larger story here at all.
Nope, just a random ass encounter I rolled up right now.
Yeah, that will never come into play ever again. So I guess, so Tulip, if you still feel safe about it, we can continue on to your village.
Yeah, we saved the pop bugs, and he's long gone. I mean, if he's going that way, he'll find. There's other villages maybe, but it'll be fine. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Do you know what else is that way besides villages? As he goes that way?
God, what's that way?
God, what's that way?
I'm gonna fly up real quick and look that way.
Yeah, do your thing, Nautia. But yeah, Tulip, you would know the grasslands stretch for...
I'm
You're what?
25.
25. Yeah, so you would
Rushed in
know...
it.
You haven't necessarily been everywhere, but you know that your village is fairly central in the sort of horizontal, as it were, distribution, if you were looking at this like a flat land laid on the wall map. Yeah, your village is fairly central in the grasslands, or it's like south central. So there's a lot more grasslands to the west, and then eventually the mountains where the Raptorians live.
Well, if they keep going that way, there's gonna hit more villages with more Murium. Eventually they'll get to the mountains, and that's where the Raptorium is. I don't know anything about over there. I don't go over there. They eat
What?
us. Oh. Raptorians.
Yeah, the Raptorans.
Raptorans.
Mhm.
That's what I said.
You said they eat you?
Yeah, they don't like mice, so they eat us. So we just stay away from the mountains, and we're fine. We have, as long as we're in the plains, grasslands, we're great. We can go
So you
faster
said-
than them.
Just because I missed it, they're which direction are the Raptorans?
To the west in the mountains.
The direction that
Okay.
we're heading, to be clear?
You're going
We're-
north. Well,
Oh.
to go to her village, you'll go east. To go where you were headed, you'll go north.
Okay. So, gotcha.
Village to the right, problem straight ahead or up, and the bad guy ran to the left.
Maybe the orc will be eaten by the Raptoriums, and everything will be fine.
That seems supremely comfortable.
Oh no, yeah, it's like a little shoulder massage there. I
Yeah.
have to pay her extra for
Yeah,
that.
maybe he'll be eaten by Raptorans. That seems like a good solution.
Do
Um,
I see anything in that direction that, like, with that 25?
I mean,
Is
you
that just
basically...
what I got was lay of the land?
Yeah, you basically got the same lay of the land as she's describing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
But there's nothing,
Well-
like, near enough by that I'm like, oh, there's a group of orcs or an encampment right there that
No,
we should
you
be
don't.
worried about.
Yeah. Nothing like that.
Well, if other Miriam are as capable as you are, Tulip, if he goes through more villages, sounds like eventually he'll probably get taken down.
I mean, there's a couple that can do what I do, but mostly they build pottery or weave baskets. I weave baskets, but mostly pottery.
Well, hopefully he doesn't bother anybody out there. It doesn't sound like have any weird things ever bothered your village?
Not really. We keep to ourselves.
That's good. Maybe he won't be an issue. Well, should we continue on to your village?
Yes. I want to make sure we have to make it one stop before we go see Apius, and then everything will be great.
Okay. So you're gonna lead them toward Flos Agri?
Yes.
Okay. So you follow Tulip through the grasslands away from this giant field of, beautiful smelling monarda and the pop bugs. And you travel east through the grasslands for a little while, and she sort of like gets to a point where she like slows her walking and basically is like indicating that you're here. And at first you're like, are we here? Because it doesn't really look different. And then as you start to like look closer, you realize there are all these sort of like low rounded buildings in this area, but they're all made out of prairie grasses, prairie plants, just these rounded sort of structures. And so they blend into the grassland very well, and you didn't realize they were there at first. So now you are in Flos Agri.
Welcome to Flos Agri.
Oh, it's lovely.
I think it's cute. This is awesome.
And she'll like point out different weaving textures because she's super excited that she's learned how to do it. And she's like, I know how to do that one, and I'm learning how to do that one. But she doesn't know what they're called or anything.
I don't know how to weave anything, so that's cool.
The place I wanted to stop at, by the way, was to see Vitinia.
I kind of figured you might want to check on her first. Yeah, go for it. All right, so you head to Vitinia's home. Are you just going on in?
I will knock politely.
Okay. So you hear her from the interior. Come on in.
She'll walk in, and as she goes in, she's like, I have visitors. Would you like to meet them?
Sure. So you all come in behind Tulip, and I suppose it's important to note inside? That some of you might have to duck.
How can we actually even all go in and fit in there?
How tall are you, Tulip? I forget.
Like 2'5".
Yes, you're very short. Yeah. So
I don't think we could even go in there.
As she sees them trying to get in, she's like, maybe we should step outside. They're pretty big.
Yes, like Nautia can like just sort of squeeze in, and this is very strange.
Yeah. And Cedric, you're kind of like, almost squatting or like on your hands and knees to try to get through this door.
Yeah.
So instead, Vitinia will come out to you, and you all see another Mousefolk, female. She is wearing a yellow dress patterned with red flowers, and she just sort of like looks up at all of you and sort of smiles quizzically and looks to Tulip and is like, where did you find these people?
They almost touched the pop bugs, so I stopped them. And then we found ugly goblins, and we fought them. But
big ugly goblins.
Yeah. But they're okay. We're good. Yeah.
And she immediately starts looking at you and realizes, like, she grabs, like, the place in your tunic where there's a hole. Because obviously Cedric didn't mend the hole. And she's like, why is there a hole in this? Did you get hurt?
I'm fine. It's fine. Look what I found. And she, like, starts pulling out things from the pouch. Trying to distract her.
Immediately enamored with the shinies. Yeah.
So she'll hand her, like, she'll, like, cut half of the food that she found and give it to her, and like all these little shiny things, and you could tell she's getting like kind of bashful when she's doing it, and she's like handing it to her, and she's just like, I got this stuff, and then I split this, and then this is yours, and she's just being super cute.
So yeah, Vitinia is gasping and exclaiming, and her eyes shine as she's taking all of this stuff, and she sort of like does the thing, and she puts like both of her hands on your shoulder and just sort of like nuzzles into your cheek a little bit. Thank you, you are just so nice.
Cedric's like, I can fix that hole for you, by the way, if you want.
I think you ruined the moment. Cedric. I think it's ruined.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Kay just like kind of like takes him, just kind of like pushes him off to the side.
But when you say that, Vitinia turns to you and goes, oh, do you also work with textiles?
No, I just, Moradin is the crafts person. I'm just, sorry, that's not the right voice.
He's lost it.
Who is that?
That would be
flustered.
Yeah, Zorth, my orc paladin. Shoot.
Cross universe problems.
Yeah. Oh, no. Moradin is the craftsperson. I'm just his vessel. I am his conduit.
You're a vessel? Like, you don't look very much like a jar. Who's Moradin?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked.
Sheryl immediately regrets this, but...
Well, before creation, the guy... yeah, I won't force any of you guys.
Oh, alright.
Yeah.
So basically you're saying you start to give a long-winded explanation of the gods.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We needed to go speak to Apius.
Okay.
She'll cut off.
I'll be around.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll be back. They wanted to ask him a question.
Okay.
I have some literature if you're interested.
Kay is like pushing him away.
I was just going to say, I'm also pushing him, and we're just like sliding him along the ground. We're like, it was so lovely to meet you.
Take this pamphlet.
So sorry.
Take this
You
pamphlet.
are amazing.
I'm gonna put a magic item in one of these shops that's like a theater cane that you can use to just like pull Cedric over. Okay, yeah, so Vitinia sort of stands in her doorway and waves for a moment, and then goes back inside as you all leave awkwardly.
So I'll lead them to go see the village wise person.
Okay, you do that. So you head to his place. Again, are you walking on in, or are you... What you do?
What would be respectful to do for this situation? Because she probably got yelled at for not being respectful.
Well, you know about him and his, his basics, so you can decide how you would like to approach this situation.
She'll knock it as she's opening the door.
Okay. And as you're knocking, you hear him interrupt you and say, Tulia, I can smell you coming. What's going on?
I took a bath like a week ago.
Well, I can smell that there are other creatures with you. What's going on?
I found strangers. They wanted to ask you some questions about the river, and maybe you knew.
About the river?
That's what it was, right? It was river. Yeah, it's gross. I don't know. We don't get water from there, but I thought maybe you might know because it's old.
And you're old.
There is no response to that.
Not that I think you're old, but just that you're wise and have experience.
Tell me more about these strangers. They smell odd.
She'll describe them and then make sure she says they're all really tall, except for one who's not really tall. And one's shiny and one's not shiny, and they're furry, but not too furry, and she's really bad at explaining it.
Well, they sound as odd as they smell. Can they come in?
Maybe one of them can. It'll be a tight fit.
He sort of like twitches his nose and his whiskers go side to side, and he's like, I will come out there.
Okay. And she'll back up and she's like, give him space.
So you see, this is an incredible, I mean, he looks incredibly old, for Mousefolk. Man, wearing a simple blue tunic and tan trousers, and like most of the Murium, they don't really wear shoes. They're just kind of, mouse feet, because like you saw with, Tulip, they can run on 2 or 4 feet. And he appears to have, eyes that are sort of like fogged over. You don't know if it's like cataracts or some other reason for blindness, but he doesn't really seem to be able to focus with his eyes. But he comes out and sort of like walks up very close to one of you. I don't know. Walks very close to Fletcher. What did you have questions about? I'm assuming that you're Tulia's friends if you're here.
That's Fletcher that you're sniffing.
Yes, hello. Yes, yeah, we ran into Tulia here out in the flower fields, and we are out exploring, trying to determine the source of the problem in the river. I understand the river is certainly quite a little bit of ways from your village, but we think the problem is actually coming from north of here, closer towards the mountains, and didn't know if perhaps anything strange had happened near your village that could have resulted from something happening in the mountains and moving past you towards the river. Just if anything strange has happened.
So he does that sound that I always edit out of the podcast, except for right now. He does the with his tongue against his very large incisors, and sort of twitches his nose again and folds his arms and says, well, first of all, the mountains don't go to the north. There's desert up there.
What did Nautia see?
She just saw a change in the landscape. She
Uh,
saw a reflectance that was different. She saw mountains to the west.
Oh, okay. Then that's without a map. I mean,
Yeah.
Fletcher would know where the mountains are in game. I can't keep it straight in my mind, so I would have said whatever. I would love to have that map.
No.
Or at least a map that develops like what we have encountered.
I think after this arc, I'm gonna give you what you've seen. Yeah.
Yeah. So I would have said it's to the north, where there's like further from here something changes. I wouldn't have said mountains.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
By this, we would have known where mountains are. Just in IRL mind, I can't keep that straight.
Fair enough. But he thinks and is like, well, the desert is to the north, but I don't know. I've never been there. I don't know anything that could be happening there. There's also a lot of grassland between here and there. But you came from the river?
The Lojdesh.
Hmm.
The big one.
I've also never been there, because it's far away and we have no use for that. We use rain barrels and streams for water, and the river is big and very fast.
Nothing. You haven't experienced anything near the village with your plants? Have you noticed plants dying for no reason or anything strange?
No.
Any strange people around?
Besides you?
Besides us.
No. You are the first strangers in my entire lifetime. And as Tulia was so kind to point out, I am very old.
I didn't say you were old. You said that.
He twitches his nose and his whiskers again.
Would you recognize have you heard of anything of a symbol used of a symbol of an eye?
No. What kind of symbol do you mean?
I think I would have my rough sketch, and I show that to him and say we on our journey we found this symbol, and we're trying to figure out why the persons who had items with this symbol would have had this on them, because they all were carrying this symbol.
He kind of does the sniffing thing again as he puts out a paw and pats in front of him until he slaps the page. And he's like, is this something you write on?
It is.
And he just sort of taps it for a minute and he's like, I cannot smell whatever you've written on it.
It looks like an eyeball.
I do not know of any peoples here that use an icon like that. None of the Murium do.
Anybody else have any questions?
I think currently Kay is still yelling at Cedric, kind of in the background, really quietly, under her, it's.
Cedric and I are like, how old do you think he actually is? You're rude.
I'm not rude. I don't mean to be.
Do you know what we found when we encountered Tulia? She was in the field tending to the plants and the pop bugs, and we encountered some folk who were trying to collect pop bugs, and we're wondering if you know of any history of these insects, that people have ever used them for something.
So he sort of sets his face a little more seriously. Again, without any expression in his eyes, it's a little hard to tell how he's thinking. But he sucks on his teeth for a moment, and I'm not going to make that sound because I will have to listen to it again later. And he says, So, those things, when they pop, the space they make for a moment is not of this world. Ever so briefly, they create a connection with another plane. The faces that are happening right now are great.
Just kind of looks at Nautia.
Yeah, Nautia visibly what?
Yeah.
So these insects connect it doing a specific plane.
Never seen Fletcher
I
be that flustered.
So good.
They connect to a specific plane. Is it a random connection? It is
To a specific plane. They are connected to the ethereal plane.
And this effect, if many insects, if many of these pop bugs were put together and all made to pop at the same time, could that create? Do we know? Does their popping combine? Would this create a larger hole between planes?
I don't know. I've never tried such a thing. I just know that they are connected to the ethereal plane.
So that connection's never been, to your knowledge, has never been used before in any way.
No. I don't know what use you would have. The ethereal plane is where ghostly creatures dwell.
SK does not know what plane really or understand the plane. She's just continuously staring at Nautia.
Fletcher, can you give me a knowledge planes check?
Wait.
Huh?
I feel like this is so important. It's just something in the story.
Whatever gave you that idea?
I'm going to use my point of inspiration.
Okay, do that.
Yes.
17.
Okay.
Nice.
So you know that the ethereal plane is one of the planes that you still basically have access to, right? Like obviously you can't just go there without spending some magic, as it were, but the ethereal plane and the plane of shadow are very intimately tied to the material plane. And so those were not lost during the loss.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Kay, in addition, if you're still watching Nautia, when he says ethereal plane, you see her visibly deflate a little.
Aww.
Kay just looks, when she sees her deflate, it's
That was so sad. Aw. Heart hands.
So these guys are like mantis shrimp, right? That
Basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a cavitation bubble of interplanar travel.
Yeah. Yep. I love that comparison.
I could tell from Cindy's expression she doesn't know what we're talking about.
Explain it. Go.
The mantis shrimp, the punching mantis shrimp, because there's one that also has
There's two
a
kinds.
spear. There's one that spears instead of punching, but we're going to talk about the puncher. And the shape of their foreleg that they use to attack prey and the speed at which they move it creates I don't remember how to even describe it. It's called a cavitation bubble. It heats up the water so quickly that it essentially creates a superheated bubble that then immediately collapses and creates a it's a heat and a sonic wave
Yeah, it's like a sonic
from the
boom kind of
collapse
thing, yeah.
of the bubble, and they use that, so they are not even a lot of their prey. They're not even actually hitting it with their strike, but the prey gets stunned and knocked out by the explosion of this supercharged bubble in the water, and
It's like a super vacuum, kind of.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it
Actually-
moves so much that there's
And you
a
can-
vacuum left behind that then snaps
And
back.
when you if you dive in places with these things, you can hear this happening in the water as these bursts going on as they're doing this to knock out prey that they then obviously then go after. So it's super, super cool.
And in fact,
they can break like aquarium glass.
I was just gonna say it's very difficult to keep them in aquaria.
Yeah, you have to have it cannot just be aquarium glass. You have to have like very specialized tanks.
Yeah, it's one of those like the force over a small surface area kind of situation.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I should also point out that their name sucks because they are neither mantises and they are not shrimp either. They're like a whole different sort of, I don't know, marine crustacean.
What are they then?
I mean,
a marine crustacean thing. Like I just
yeah, they're still crustaceans. They're just not shrimps by whatever the technical definition for shrimp is. Yeah. Yay. Yep. Yes.
Right, those guys.
They're also super colorful, and they have like really developed eyes. So they have 16 cones and rods in their eyes, something like that. And so we think that they can see all of these bazillions different colors that we can't see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very flashy. Highly recommend Googling a picture. I think they're so cool. Sorry.
They're great. No, it's fine. So yeah,
so
that's actually a great comparison. I hadn't actually thought of that before with these bugs, but I like that a lot. Yeah.
Well, and I might be overstepping, but I feel like I've heard that like the flash point of the cavitation bubble is like surface of the sun level temperature. Like it's like thousands of degrees.
Wow, that would be very impressive.
I think I've heard something like that in terms of the temperature, but it's like that's the peak it reaches for like a tiny fraction of a second,
like a millionth of a second or something like that.
Yeah.
Why is this the second time I've heard about this in like 2 weeks?
Because mantis shrimps are awesome.
Yeah, because they're so cool. Qui-Gon says that their strike is so powerful that they had to develop a special shell that is hardened in a way that won't break when punching like that.
Yeah.
And they also have a locking mechanism for the punching arms, so it's just loaded like a crossbow.
I had heard the crossbow comparison before, yeah. Look at that! Yeah. We got back to D&D. Ye olde mantis shrimp arms. Or something like that. All right, what's next?
Well, I think after hearing, I think Fletcher's like, thank you, and like it's kind of stepping back to like other people can talk, because I think kind of reeling a little bit about hearing this, and even if he hasn't told people obviously yet about like the plane and how the planes, like the theories about the planes and what was lost and not in connection to the loss and all these things that he's like learned the little bit that he's learned about in school, and he wants to explore the loss, that he's like, somebody else can friggin' talk now, because I can't like brain can't make words right now.
Aww.
Like
anybody else want to talk to Appius while he's here?
I don't know, the weird, ugly people who tried to come, they had bags, and they were trying to collect the beetles or the bugs or whatever they are specifically. So I don't know, that might, because it's like right next to you guys, you know. So like, I mean, it's not really my place to say anything, but I'm just warning you, because it seems like you use these beetles a lot in lots of different things, so it would be a shame if something happened to them.
That's true. They are incredibly culturally valuable for us, but that is a job for Placus. I am too old and frankly not interested in running the town.
Okay.
I mean, I can take you guys to meet Placus if you want, or if you want, you can go to the inn. Maybe I haven't seen many other visitors, but maybe somebody else has been south far enough and gossiped with Marcia.
I feel like Lucanus would speak up at this point and say, I should probably talk to Placus about orcs. Just we could talk strategy, tactics, whatever they need. I've fought these guys before. I'd be glad to lend any expertise that I can.
And I can keep the pop bugs safe. Don't worry about that.
Well, if you don't need me anymore, I'm going to go back in where it's cooler. Rare!
No, she's the worst. I'm sorry, I don't have a door.
Appius immediately freezes and like, oh, there's a cat! So he just sort of like, just sort of casually ends the conversation there and like turns around and goes back inside his little grass
Thanks, Appius.
house. It is 8 o'clock. Well, it's after 8 o'clock my time. How do you all feel about putting a pause on it there, and we can come back next time for you to explore more of the Murium village? Nikki, you want to come back and hang out some more?
Sure.
Yeah. All right.
We'll all be able to sleep with like one hand inside the inn.
We should make camp like right outside town. We're actually like, well, we don't.
Yeah.
And next time, maybe we can talk to you a little bit about what you do and your experience with D&D and role-playing games. So yeah, thanks to Nikki for being a guest and introducing our group to a new people on Arda. Good job, everybody, talking about bugs. That was really fun. Thank you so much to everyone who's been hanging out in the chat and talking about whatever it is you've been talking about. Thanks to Qui-Gon Bowers, Veronica, Kathy with a K, Eric was on earlier, Teal, Cassie. Wow, there were a lot of people in the chat tonight. Thank you so much to all of them. Thank you so much to everyone else who's been watching, even if you didn't comment. It's okay if you're shy, but we're glad you're here. The next time we will be playing Arda will be September now. Yep, September 19th. So two Saturdays from now. 2 Saturdays from now, we'll be back with more Arda, but the Sunday before that, the 13th, we'll be playing Burn. Emily will be playing probably The Last of Us Part 2 again on the intervening Saturday. I know Joe is planning on starting up his Pokemon thing sooner rather than later. But yeah, we'll all be around, and you know where to find us on the social medias. Go check out the Beholder to No One podcast. It's a great talk D&D podcast. I've been learning a lot from listening to Nikki and her super soothing radio voice, while she and her co-hosts or guests talk about D&D, and we had a great time playing World of Wilderveer. So definitely go check out that one shot, because it was mostly just us being complete goofballs. Like, we did accomplish a task technically, but mostly it was just us being goofballs, and it was really wonderful.
The one-shots are so much fun.
Yeah, well, and Nikki played another punchy character in that game. So if you like Nikki...
There's a theme.
Yeah. If you like listening to Nikki punch things, go give that a listen.
I didn't get to punch anything in that one. I wanted to.
Didn't you punch Arrow?
No.
No, you just used like other weird barroom brawl techniques. Okay, well... that game starts with a fight.
Oh, and if you like puns, all of our names in that one shot are pun related, except for one person.
Yep.
Our chat will love
punished?
that.
Oh yeah, huh?
Were they punished
for not having a pun name? I feel we didn't allow that character to walk at all, so I suppose they were
She became the bucket lord.
Pun-ish. Cheryl pun-ish.
Yes, I'm choosing to ignore it. Thank you for that.
You object to the puns until you start making them.
Oh yeah, I mean everybody does that though, so it's not just me.
I love all puns in all forms, all the times.
Challenge accepted. So yeah, you know where we'll be and when we'll be. You can always follow us on social media. Go follow Beholder to No One for more D&D fix. And we will be back later. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a good night. Bye.
Bye.